morning. Welcome to the Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarthy. You have got me for the next 4 hours, but not just me, because coming up this morning, we've got lots of goodies for you. Lucy Brennan's here with us. Victoria Peat's here with us. Let's see what it is we're going to be doing, shall we? Any second? Yeah, here we go. At 8 a.m, we've got a quick quilt race. Obviously, you know, nice and gently. At 10 a.m, oh, my screen's gone blank, can't see. At 9 a.m, rather. What have we got at 9 a.m? Oh, there we go. Holiday ready tilde. Yes. No tilde in that, but we are holiday ready. And then at 10 a.m, we've got a jewellery roll. I like to think of that as a bling sling. Yes. That's what it's called. And then at 11 o'clock, we are travelling in style. There is no tilde in sight today. Forget that. Don't look at that bit. The rest is correct. Oh, yes. So, on your travels, ready, step, go. Because, come with me, Lucy Brennan's here. Hey, Lucy Brennan! Mwah, mwah. Now, we need to explain how this show came about.
Yes.
Okay.
Go on.
So the thing is, if you've watched much of the Sewing Quarter, you will know I have a bit of a cutting phobia. I am not very good. I feel like, you know, I'm admitting something big here. I'm not very good with a rotary cutter. Yeah. It stops me from doing projects. I'm not very good at it. Lucy said no. Time to get over that fear. So you're going to teach me to cut.
Yes.
And what better way to teach someone to cut than to make them do it a lot?
Yes.
So, live on air, thanks for that, Lucy.
Welcome.
You are going to teach me how to cut properly, straight, most effectively. We've got beautiful fabrics, and so we're basically going to cut strips, fabric strips.
Yes.
And then we're going to show you how you can use your fabric strips at home, or we've got a beautiful selection for you today to create a beautiful quilt. Bish, bash, bosh, nice and quick, but it looks gorgeous, and with just 2 pieces of kit, a ruler and a rotary cutter, 3, because there's a mat. Then you are good to go.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now, you said to me, Natasha, you cannot spend hours talking about it. We've got to get on with it.
We've got to get on and do it, because otherwise we're not going to get finished. So it's a little bit of a challenge. See how far we get today. We're going to be doing a small quilt, because we wouldn't have time to do a bigger one. But you can apply this principle and keep going and make it as big as you like.
Okay, we've got 2 different types of fabric for you. We've got a whole load of Joel Dewberry over there, 2 different colourways. We're going to be using, though, pretty springtime, summertime fabrics.
Yes.
It's all about the Tanya Whelan. It's all about those roses and those pretty chintzes and how we're going to use those effectively. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I give you the fabric. It's true. I'm going to go with the very, very first one. Over here. Pretty, pretty, pretty. You will recognise these sort of designs from all over the place, including lots of magazines that Tanya Whelan designs for, works for. This is available by the half metre. All of our fabrics on the show today available by the half metre. Right, first thing first, cut off the selvage.
Cut off the selvages.
Over to you.
We've got 2 rotary cutters. You've got the smaller one. I've got the big one.
Yeah, I know. I see this.
Yes.
Why have you got big one, Lucy?
Well, we've got a lot to get through.
Okay.
And I'm going to stack up the fabrics and be cutting more than one. So I'm just going to do that to cut the selvages off, because we need to get rid of those first.
So basically, there is your beginner's rotary cutting, which will be me. And then your more advanced rotary cutting, which is you.
Yes.
Just so you know. Now, you're going to use a 60mm rotary cutter. I was not allowed to use it.
I am. No,
Why am I not allowed to use it?
Because
Lucy said no.
It's a much bigger blade.
Right.
And it is really, the only time you would use this is cutting through layers of fabric. So if you're somebody that cuts a lot of fabric, that is confident with a rotary cutter, that you want to stack things up, be able to cut it quickly, this one is perfect. If you're not confident and you're learning how to cut, you want to go with the slightly smaller one, because you're not cutting through all those layers. But this is what we use in quilt shops when we've got to cut through lots of layers. And so if I'm stacking up fabric, you know, it's a bigger blade, it's
Okay.
quicker, more efficient.
So your rotary cutter, which is it's from Clover, $24.95 for a 60mm. This is the big one. Now, down the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Tanya Weasel, this is the Paisley in yellow. It's from the Lola range. It's ever so pretty, unashamedly pretty and feminine. Now, you're going to add the ticking on top.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole range for you today. So this is the ticking. So we're layering these fabrics up ready to cut, saving ourselves time because Lucy can and she knows how. So the ticking fabric, part of the Lola range again, very, very pretty. Now all of these are, oh, hello, $6.95 per half a metre. Why is it important to cut off this selvage?
So you want to cut off the selvages. There's a couple of reasons.
Okay.
The selvages are where the rolls of fabric are held on when the fabric's being made.
Yeah.
They're held on the rolls.
Yes.
So you've got little dots, you know, little actual holes where the fabric's been held on, and so you don't want those little dots, little holes in your work. And also along the edges there, the fabric's more tightly woven. So it actually behaves differently from the rest of the fabric.
Yes.
And obviously, of course, you don't want the edges or these texts. But I like to cut off sometimes an inch and a half, because I use these, we were talking about it yesterday, sometimes use these in other projects. So I like to save those with a little bit of
Also, I know
the
that a lot of our
on.
designers will save and use those and keep them if they, you know, so that they've got them as a reference of this was the material. So you get a snippet of what it looks like, the colours, who it was designed by.
It's got
so
all that information on there,
yes.
so you can order it again.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut through all of these layers. I'm going to just shimmy.
Shimmy me out of the way. So we've got the garden ticking, which is the top layer of fabric. Oh, look at that go. Beautiful. In one fell swoop. How many layers was that?
8.
8 layers. Yeah. And that is why you use the 60mm.
And that's why I use the 60mm. So I'm going to do that again so that everything's prepped.
Right.
And we've got nice straight lines to work from to cut our strips.
Now, the next one that we've got is our spot on. Now, this is a pink spot on. Again, we've done the colour matching here for you. We love a spot. If we're quilting, then spots, stripes, florals, mix them all in and out. It's actually called candy, which we like. There we go, $4.95. That's from Macawa. It's 100% cotton. Obviously, if you were at home, you would wash these fabrics before you use them to get rid of any shrinkage, if that's what you want. I know that you like to wash afterwards because you like that effect.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you.
I like
now, the one on
quilts.
top is part of the Tanya Whelan range again, and let's give you the details of that. That will be $6.95. That's your crisscross fabric. Yeah. And the details are coming up on the screen for you in just one moment. So again, we're getting that lovely, and again, all of these by the half metre. Again, getting that lovely straight line. Rotary cutter, this is your 60mm. This is your big bad boy rotary cutter. In it goes. Look at that. Like hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
And you know what you're doing.
It's great for cutting layers.
Okay.
Really, really good. And it's just more efficient, you know. It's much more efficient than using the 45 when you're cutting lots of layers of fabric.
Now, we've also got some solids for you as well, which match, again, beautifully. Now, this is pistachio. Ooh. Our solids are all $3.25 per half metre. They are all on the website, and today we've chosen the colours that work. And so here they are, $3.25. So that is your pistachio, that's your green, a really handy one to have in your stash. If you've got any florals in your stash, then you need that pistachio. Now this is this blue one coming up next, again part of our Spectrum Solid range, again from Macawa, again 100% cotton, again get it in your stash. We'll get you the details up as soon as we can, and then we've got that lovely fuchsia pink as well coming up. Oh, it's azure blue. Pardon me. Hey, very posh. Every time we bring the solids, they are just so popular. We've got customers, viewers, who like to, every time they buy, and I think this is a great idea, pop a couple of solids in their basket. Yeah. So they've got a half metre of a solid. You never know when you're going to use them. When you get a delicious, beautiful designer fabric in, then you've then got that you can mix and match and make your designer fabrics go even further, and you're not having to wait and delay a project because you don't have the right colour. Now, we've got one other Tanya Whelan, which we haven't actually got to use this morning, but here's a picture of it because it goes and it works. Now, there you go. That is your little flower fabric. And again, $6.95 per half metre, although that doesn't look like the little flower one. That's the... Oh, okay, is it? Oh, cool. So $6.95 for that one. Yeah, so there we go. That's... Let's have a look at your Tanya Whelans again. So that's your paisley. And again, each of your Tanya Whelans, $6.95. I think you're going to really love the effect of these. And the next one is your ticking. I love that ticking, just that different take on it. Really lovely. Each of these, $6.95. Here we go. So that's your ticking, $6.95, XRRW95, and then your crisscross. Crisscross, crisscross. Lovely. Here we go, coming up, $6.95, it's Tanya Whelan again. Lucy, what are you doing?
I'm just folding them so that we've can cut from that edge, because we're going to cut from selvage to selvage.
Right.
Because we need that length of the strip.
Okay.
So I'm just getting it all prepared for you.
So this is the prep, okay? So here we go. This is selvage to selvage.
Yeah.
And you're going to prep it so it's easy for me to cut.
So it's easier for you to cut. So that's
I like this.
That one. So that's the cut side on the...
Right, look at this.
Side
The detailing is in the prep, isn't it?
Yes.
That's where all this detail lies.
Yeah.
Prior and proper preparation and all that.
So this is going to be... So, yeah, so from selvage to selvage, that's how we're going to...
Now, let's start with this one, then. Because I need to learn to cut.
Yeah. So
now, this is your ticking fabric.
Yeah.
All Tanya Whelan. If you subscribe to any of those sort of homes and gardensy type magazines, you'll recognise this fabric. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful one. So we fold the fabric in half because now we've cut off the selvages.
Yeah.
So you know that it's going to be about... Well, it's 44 is the width of the fabric. Once you've cut the selvages off, depending on how much you've cut off, you've probably got about 42 in the width. So you've done that, but it's very hard to cut that in one long strip. So you need to fold it.
Yeah.
So when you're cutting the strips out, it's very important that you line up a line from the ruler with the crease of the fabric.
Okay.
Because if you don't... it's going to be wonky and you're not going to have a long straight strip. You're going to have a strip that has a bit of a kink in it.
I don't want a kinky strip.
No.
No.
You
not at this time in the morning.
No, not at this time in the morning. So I've chosen to go with the 8.5 by 24.5 ruler.
This is a big one,
yes,
isn't it?
But we had a discussion about this morning, didn't we? Because you've got that nice width, so you can keep your hand away from where you're cutting.
This was done for me, ladies and gents. I'm not going to lie. Lucy's going to keep me safe.
Yes.
We do have a thinner one. We've got a 6-inch thinner one. But actually, this is absolutely perfect for me because I get a larger surface area to keep my fingers on. Now, the other thing about why I'm happy to give this a go is because it's from Creative Grids. So I know that all around the outside, I've got the non-slip grip on there, and also those little circles that you can see, all the non-slip grip. So I know that actually I'm in safe hands with this. I'm not going to slip around all over the place. I'm not going to waste my fabric. No. I'm not going to cut myself. I'm going to be safe with this. So large surface area, lots of grip. Okay, I'm feeling confident.
Okay, good. Yes. Good. So we can cut, what should we do, 3 inches?
Why not? I mean, obviously
you're 3-inch strip.
You normally you think of design rolls as being 2.5 inch, but when you're cutting, You can do whatever you like.
We could just make it a bit bigger.
Yeah,
couldn't
why
we?
not?
Because we've got that, you know, if we've got that design there, we're going to get a bit
Let's
more
get a
of
bit
it.
more in there.
You get to see more
Now,
of it.
the
if we
other
go
thing
through.
with this ruler, it's made for for quilters, very, very much so. You'll notice that half of the numbers are in white, half are in black. The ones in white are as it is, just normal, that's your inches. If you spin it around and use the black ones, it's added a ½ inch.
Yes.
So if you're a quilter and you want that ½ inch added, then you're cutting a 6 inches or something, 6.5 gives you your seam allowance in there. These are so popular, so clever. Excellent. So, but we're just going for 3 inch. So I've got my 3 inch lined up along the edge. And again, the black and the white markings make it super easy to use. So I've lined, well, I say you have for me, but I will next time I cut.
Yep.
Black line lining up against the base of my fabric. So I've got that 90 degrees. I'm going to cut straight. That's important.
Yeah, really important. What a lot of people do when they're beginning is line up the edge of the ruler.
Yeah.
But when you start cutting your fabric, you don't want to miss that bit. And we're not actually measuring.
Okay.
We're just cutting.
Right.
So you don't need to line up from that edge.
Okay.
And even if I were measuring, I would put the measurement not on the side where I'm cutting.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would, you know, if that had to be 6, I would measure it this way and cut this edge.
Right.
Because it's too difficult lining up the edge there, and you're more likely to miss that bit.
Yes.
So, and I find with the rulers, it's easier to find a
Okay.
you know, that doesn't have anything on it.
Because this is it, isn't it? Because we're cutting 2 layers at once, you also don't want to have a funny kink in the middle.
No, so you've got to line that up at the bottom.
Perfectly.
Make sure it's perfectly straight. So it's easier on a black line, really, but it's up to you. So I'm lining up the bottom, and then I always want the straight edge of the fabric to be on the measurement. So I'm lining up the measurement, the amount that I want to cut with that straight edge of the fabric. So we want 3 inch strips, so we want the 3 to match up with the edge of the fabric, and then we can cut, and we know that that's 3 inches.
Now, you see, I like this because, look, that's not moving anyway. No. That's down to those non-slip grips. And that's actually part of the plastic on the underside, which is just brilliant. That's why we bring you creative grids. If you are starting out, give yourself the best possible chance and get a ruler that's not going to slip and move around, because otherwise, first, you're going to waste fabric if you slip. Secondly, you're going to be disheartened. This is why, I'm pretty sure this is why I'm really quite worried about cutting, because it's gone wrong for me in the past. So this will help my confidence.
Yeah, and doing something like just cutting these strips, you know, it's easy. It's just the full length of it, so you don't need to worry about it too much. You're just getting that straight line.
I mean, let me just show you this ruler. It is 8.5 inches by 24.5 inches. This is a big one, but this is quilters will have this.
Yes,
they will, or you should have one of these.
Yeah.
You always request this.
Yes.
One of this size.
I would definitely want that length, because it means I can get the full width of the fabric, which makes things much easier. Yeah.
So I'm going to line this up with my 3 inch.
Yes.
Because we're going to cut a 3 inch. Okay, and I'm going to line that up there and there. There, I'm lined up.
That's it. Perfect.
Yeah. Are we good?
Yep.
Yes.
So then you want to press down.
Yeah, and I've got that
just so
wide
that you've got
surface area.
You've got that wide surface area.
Now, I'm not allowed to use the 60mm rotary cutter. I haven't passed that test yet.
No.
The thing is, like if I struggle with it, there are going to be other people out there that struggle with it.
Yes.
So it's valid.
Yeah, and I do, you know, I layer up fabric. I'll use the big rotary cutter because I've been cutting
fabric. You've
fabric
done this for a job. Yeah,
exactly.
You've done this professionally, so you're good with that. I'm not. Yes. So the rotary cutter that I've chosen, like I'm going to be honest, I went for pretty. I went for pretty. I knew that it was Fiskars, so I know it's going to be a great blade, and I know that it's going to be easy to replace when it goes blunt. So I went for pretty, quite frankly, because I love it. There it is. Why not?
Why not?
No, it's the geometric. It's $13.95. Great price, pretty, and from a great company. That's going to make me want to cut. Messages. Thank you very much for your messages already. Sonia, hello. She says, "Good morning, Natasha and Lucy." Well, good morning to you. She said, bless you, Natasha, I love your honesty. And
Yeah.
Lucy is the perfect tutor. I agree completely.
Thank you.
There is absolutely no point in me coming on air pretending to be something I'm not.
No.
Because you'll see through it. There's absolutely no point. So I
No.
may just as well learn with anybody else who needs to.
Yes.
So, yeah, hands up. Yeah. Lorraine's messaging. Hello, Lorraine. Morning.
Hi,
Love the
Lorraine.
creative grid. She says it makes such
Yes,
a difference when
it does.
cutting. I'm about to find
does.
out. She says hi, Lucy, as well. Now, am I good to go?
Yeah, so you're good to go. So retract your blade.
Retracted.
I want you to start before the edge of the fabric.
There.
Yes, you're holding it up against the edge of the ruler.
Yeah.
So you want to angle it towards the, try and keep it
There.
straight and keep it butted up against the ruler.
I possibly shouldn't have put hand cream on.
Possibly not.
Possibly, okay.
You want to go forwards and down. It's the down pressure that cuts the fabric. People
going.
sometimes think it's the rolling,
Right,
but it
so
isn't. It's the
forwards and
downward.
down.
It's down, and you've got to keep pressing down as you're going along. You can hear it cutting there. You might want to do that first bit again. I'm not. Oh no, you did. You got it. You got it. And then close
my
your blade.
clutter.
Yeah, before
Always
you
shut your
celebrate,
clutter.
close your blade.
Yeah. Don't.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I just
That's
cut.
it. Okay, so that's one we've got to do 17. So on you go.
So we've got to do how many?
17.
Oh my word! Less chat, more cutting.
So you're lining up. So the edge of the fabric
Yeah.
with the measurement on the ruler.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I cut it. Do you know what? This ruler's ace. It did not budge.
No, it
I mean,
doesn't.
it did
Make
not.
sure you press the ruler down.
Yeah. Pressing. Starting off at an angle. Off I go.
That's it.
Well, if it had always been this easy, I'd have done it before.
As I lift, I shut.
Okay.
Because that's a good habit to get into.
There you go. How many of these am I doing?
2. So do 3 from this print, please.
If
like
you've just
this.
joined us, well, I know you're going to start sewing these all together in
I
a
am.
minute.
I'm going to sew them all
What sort
together.
of design are we going to do?
So we're doing. People might have seen it around on social media or different places, and you do like a race quilt. So you can use pre-cut strips of fabric to do this, but obviously we're wanting to test your
Cutting abilities.
newfound
Yay!
cutting abilities.
Yep.
To do it. So we're going to just do a smaller quilt. So we're going to do 17 strips.
Right.
And then it's going to end up with all the strips together, and we're going to sew the short ends together.
Okay.
And keep going, and then.
And this is called a race
get to that
quilt.
point. So it's like a race quilt. So people do it. Guilds do it at events, and people might just time themselves at home.
Actually, do you know what? I've heard of these.
So we're not racing the cutting.
No,
we are not.
no,
I want to make that very clear. We're not racing the cutting. We're taking our time and measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, all of that.
Taking our time with the cutting, but we will race the sewing.
Okay.
get
Now, I've
onto
heard
that.
of this because
So you want? Can I
asked-
just stop you for 1 second? You just want to make sure that that's as lined up as it can be.
And if I'm
If you're a little bit off there, you're better cutting that again. Well, we only want 3 strips, so I think that'll be okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy.
That's all right.
Good job that you show me all of this now, because I'm going to be left to cut a lot.
Yeah.
whilst
I'm
you-
not worried about the ends, about the edges being straight yet. I'm going to be sewing them together at an angle anyway, so it doesn't matter that those edges aren't straight. You can sew them end to end, and I'll show that in a second. But we want to, yeah.
Now, we don't have a massive amount of the rulers, but as you can see, they're a bit fab. So if it is in your basket, please check it out. I have to say, I am so impressed. I've never felt so safe and secure cutting as I have with this. You
Yeah.
were right.
And I think having that bit of extra width there does just mentally give you that confidence, that you're going to be okay. Great.
I'm going to be okay.
You're going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay.
So it's definitely a downward. Do you feel that
Yeah.
it's a downward?
Yeah,
Make
no.
sure you're shutting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. This fabric here, let me give you the details for this fabric. Actually, let me give you all of the details on here. So the fabric I'm cutting is down the bottom there. It's £6.95. It's super pretty, very feminine. Love, 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 love. 100% cotton. And this beautiful thing is my ruler, and I need this in my life. If I'm starting out quilting, is this one of the first ones to go for? What?
Yes, yeah, this is a really good first option. The 24.5 is great because you're getting the full width of the fabric. So we have taken the selvages off, but you've got the full width of the fabric there, which is great for doing things like this, or when you're doing binding, if you're cutting strips of binding for quilts, it's perfect. And you've got a nice, good size measurement, so 8.5.
How many of those have I just done?
For blocks, so that's 3. So that one's
3.
done.
Next, okay, moving on to the next fabric. Okay. When do you need to start sewing?
Well, we need to cut more.
Right.
So we've got to have variety because we want it mixed up. So if you do that one, and then I'll do the solids with the big.
With the big one.
With the big one, because I can cut more than one.
Until I've cut them all.
No, well, I'm not. Do you want to try doing 2 at once, or is that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm obviously an expert now.
I think you've got it. I don't think people should be afraid of layering fabric.
Well, I'm going to give it a go.
You will need to apply.
This is a face my fears show.
You will need to apply a bit more pressure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really important that you've got your fabric lined up.
Yeah.
There, and that this bit is lined up. So
now,
the edges and the fold.
We've got other rulers on. Can I just show you the other smaller Creative Grids one? Now, you see, this is just a little bit too short to cut it, so we're not going to use this for the cutting. But if you are after a smaller version, then it's £19.95. Again, this is going to be great for you quilters out there. It's £19.95. It's a smaller surface area. This is your 6.5. Is that right? No. 4.5, sorry, by 18.5 inch. I was thinking that's not 6. Yeah, 4.5 by 18.5 inch. There's, you know what sort of cutting you're doing.
Yep.
If this is the right one for you, then go for this.
That might be a nice one for classes when you've got to cut cut pieces out or things like that.
It's smaller, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's easier for those smaller cuts.
Yeah.
But I'm doing big cuts. I'm sticking with my big bad boy over here, as I like to call it.
So you're just lining up it in exactly the same way. We know that our fabric is lined up, so it's lined up along the bottom. It doesn't matter that it's not lined up on this edge. Mm-hmm. It's just that cut edge and the fold. Great.
Right, you need to start cutting something,
Fantastic.
Mrs. Yeah,
well
I'm going to give you that. And
thank you.
It's halfway through the show, so we need to get you
Okay, we're going to get going.
I'm going to cut. You.
Okay, I'll get sewing.
You keep
okay,
cutting.
So you want to have a mix of fabrics.
Yep.
And we're going to sew the short ends together. So there are 2 ways you can do this. You can just put the fabrics right sides together and sew along the short ends.
Right.
If you're going to do it like that, you need to make sure those bits are straight, obviously. So then you have to cut your short ends. But what I'm going to be doing is like mitering them. Okay. So in the same way that I would do binding. So I'm putting 1 fabric right side down. So 1 fabric right side down, taking my next strip and layering it over the top. And I'm going to sew from corner to corner. So I've got this fabric face up, fabrics right sides together, and I'm going to sew from corner to corner so that when it folds back, it will make 1 long strip like that. So you can fold your fabric if you want to get a crease to give you a guide to sew down, or if you aren't even, if you're not confident doing that, you could draw a line on with a fabric pen if you wanted to. But I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to just change my foot over for this bit.
Awesome. So, yeah, I'm now comfortable going through 4 layers. That was really quick to get my confidence to that level.
Fantastic.
I put that down to the Creative Grids.
Yeah.
I truly think, because that ruler has not slipped, not even a little bit.
No.
So that, you know, that's my confidence, which means suddenly I'm pretty sure that I can achieve this, which is excellent. I'm very excited about this.
So then I've sewn those 2 strips together, and I'm going to turn this piece. So again, it's right side up. I'm going to take my next strip and put it right side down. So this piece I've sewn the wrong, you know, fabrics are right sides together, and I have to just twist this strip to get the right side up, and then I put the next one on, face down, and I'm going to sew from corner to corner. Awesome. So you can see I've almost got like a little loop and fold in this piece because I've just turned it to the right side. And then I'm going to sew corner to corner.
Awesome.
And then I'm just repeating. So I'm taking the strip and folding it so that I've got the right side of the fabric. Just like that. Take my next strip. Right sides together.
Oh, here we go. I'm on fire over here.
And then corner to corner.
This is so much. I was nervous before this show, not going to lie.
About the cutting?
Yeah.
Look at you now.
I know, look at me go.
And it's fun, you know, it is fun to sew them.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, this could be a nice, quick, simple quilt that you make. You've got, you know, a morning of doing a little bit of cutting, and off you go. Now, if you're after fabric, if you're after solids, if you're after all these colours, I think, the fuchsia, the pistachio, that lovely azure blue, they're going to work. How many of you have got blues within your stash? So many. It's one of the most popular colours is a blue. So, you know, it doesn't matter how many blues you have, you're going to use them. It's going to work with one of the blues in your stash. I'm pretty confident about that. The fuchsia is that deep, lovely pink that just works with so many different options.
And it's nice to mix solids in with prints. You know, you shouldn't be afraid of mixing them.
Well, then it just makes because the Tanya Whelan print that we've got is very pretty and feminine, and having that solid next to it's just going to make it pop. Now, I promised you 2 different styles. So we've got your pretty Tanya Whelan, but come with me for something a little different. So over here we've got Joel Jewellery. I still can't say that name. Now this is probably one of my favourites of his. Just check this out. It's absolutely beautiful. Now you can get this by the ½ metre. Look at that, isn't that absolutely stunning? Now this is £6.95 per ½ metre here. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. That's going to look great as a quilt. But you know what also? With Joel Dewberry fabrics, I have promised myself that when we finally move into our first home that we've actually bought, I'm going to make curtains and blinds and stuff out of this fabric because I just think it's gorgeous. Can you imagine that as a bathroom blind or something? Just lovely. So £6.95, NDRW 25. This is your Joel Dewberry Grace fabric in mint from the Atrium range. One of my favourites. £6.95. I just love that big striking print. Now, we were just saying, don't be afraid to pop in a solid to go with that. We've found a solid that's picking up that gorgeous gold in there. So to match that, we've gone with this one here. Now, this is your Vienna. Woohoo! Here it is. £3.25 per ½ metre, and this is the joy of popping in a solid, is that actually all of a sudden your designer Joel Dewberry goes that bit further, and this just is going to make those other colours in that Joel go pop. Absolutely fabulous. This is your Vienna orange, £3.25 per ½ metre. A great sort of burnt orange to go in your stash. Absolutely lovely. So let's pop that up there so that we can see that, how well that all goes. Now, if we're going to pick the greys and the blues and the yellows, then this is a fab one to have. Again, this is Joel Dewberry. Remember, he is also a graphic designer, and we see that. Not only does he bring us fabulous florals, but he also brings us very grown-up symmetrical designs, and this is one of them. So maybe you're making a quilt and you want it to be a little bit masculine as well, or you just want that geometric portion, then go for this. $6.95, and this is your crystalline fabric in mint, again from the Atrium range. That beautiful mint being picked up there. So let's pop that in. We just want to give you these fabric options because, you know, we don't know what colours you've got going on in your house or what your favourite colours are or anything like that. So we thought that we would bring you unashamedly pretty, girly Tanya Whelan, and then we thought we'd bring you some really bold, striking Joel Dewberry. Now, here we go. This is another from the Atrium range. Now, this is bringing in, look at this. This is your golden colours. Again, this golden is in all of the Joel Dewberry that we've brought in so far. So you can see that coming in with the other colours there. Can you see that it's just picking out? And that's the joy of when you're buying from a collection. You know that it's all going to work. So you've got all of that colour coming through. It picks up in all of that range. So again, very important if you're quilting that you're picking that out. Absolutely stunning. And again, that's going to work tonally, beautifully, if you want to pop in that solid as well. So there, that one is here. This is $6.95. This is your Eclipse fabric in golden. It's kind of a grown-up polka dot, isn't it? Fab. And again, you can just see how soft that is. That's going to be beautiful to work with. And I have to say that when I had the joy of being given a fabric strip roll of the Joel Dewberry Atrium range, and it was just beautiful to work with. Now, the last Joel Dewberry, oh, this is the other one that I want. Now, you see, this is my kitchen curtains, I think, possibly. Bit of a change of pace here, bit of green coming in. It's lovely, isn't it? Really, now this is bizarre. That's what it's called. Not, you know, not bizarre, bazaar. Gorgeous, whichever way around you want to look at it. This is in lichen, and it's $6.95. So you've got that natural green colour coming through there. Fab. EMRW 96. Now, the other thing that we've got to show you is the last of our polka dots. This is picking up the blue out of the Joel Dewberry. There we go. So if you want to grab a polka dot, then do. We've got this in teal. And actually, this is a great one just to have in your stash because we sell so many different teal fabrics that actually having the teal spot on for $4.95, whether you're lining bags or whatever, if you've got a teal in any of your fabrics, this is a great one to have in your stash. $4.95, OAMY07. Yay! So a little showcase of lots of different fabrics for you to choose from this morning. But let's see what Lucy's doing. Lucy, what's going on?
I'm just doing the last one. I'm not using all the solids. I've just scattered the solids throughout. So
wow, look at this.
That's the last print one.
So hang on, how are all these being sewn together?
So now we've got like a chain of...
Oh, look at this. Is like the best bunting ever.
Strips. So what we need to do now is just cut them. So we're just going to trim that back.
Now, if you wanted
and snip in between
to cut that
one
perfectly and do it sort of a half an inch or quarter of an inch rather away, then then you could just sew, and then you've got lots of small squares. So show us what you're doing.
Yes, you can do that. So I'm just trimming it about a quarter of an inch.
And snip.
And then snipping in between because we've been chain piecing those together.
Yeah.
So you can use your rotary cutter to do this if you want, but it's sort of fiddly, and when it's like this, it's quicker just to
It depends,
trim it.
Doesn't it? You know, for me, I would want to use those triangles for another thing. So I might, while I was sewing, sew them and then cut them in the middle, because I've seen our guests do that, and that seems like a good idea. But you'll see, you know, we've used an unashamedly pretty fabric here, then we've teamed it with gorgeous solids that are bright and rich and vibrant, and it's just, I think it's going to work.
Yeah, it will.
It will.
Just have to do this quickly so we can sew it together.
Do you want me to snip while you start to sew?
There. I'm nearly finished, I think. How many more have I got? Oh, quite a few.
Right, come on, let me snip, you sew.
Well, I can't because I've got to do it all.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
right,
then
okay.
you've got to sew the whole lot together.
Let me show you the fabrics that we've used then whilst Lucy has a good old snip. Let me show you these solids. We've got 3 extra solids here for you. We've picked out the colours because this is what we can do. You know, we can take the fabrics and really show you. So this one here, this beautiful vivid fuchsia, $3.25 per half a metre. Again, all of these now on the website. Ooh. Graphics coming in for you along the bottom there, £3.25 for this beautiful pink. This is one that you'll see in so many of your florals. If you've got floral prints at home, then you're going to see this in there, and it is just £3.25. Now that's for your pink. Now let's have a look at your azure blue. Love this. Check that out. So that's your azure blue. Details again down the bottom, $3.25. Lots of you, by the way, going for the creative grids. I'm so pleased because it's easy to think if you're starting out, I won't go for an expensive one, you know, because you know I don't know if I'll like it. It's a false economy. Get a great one, and then you're just going to love it. So here you go. That is your azure blue down there, $3.25. Oh, these colours just work so well together.
I'm going to start sewing, so I'm going to just tell you what I'm doing.
Okay.
So that's all the strips sewn together into one long strip. That's what I've made, one really long...
Oh, is that what you've done?
Yeah, it's
my
one really, really long strip.
It looks like a great long bandage.
This is really where the race begins. So we have to sew... You'd get the both ends and you sew them right sides together all the way down till you get to where these strips meet, where there be a fold.
Wow.
Okay? So that's all I'm doing is just sewing them right sides together all the way down. When I get to the bottom, I'll show you what I'm going to do next.
You know when you just have no idea how things are going to work out?
So I'm putting
I'm with you on this. You're the expert. Let's go with that.
Putting the 1/4 inch foot on my machine, and I'm just going to sew.
Excellent, excellent.
Quickly.
I've got pistachio in my hands. Wow. Awesome. So this is your pistachio. Again, it's part of our solid spectrum range, and it's $3.25 per half a metre. Kind of, wow.
Oh, I'm using the bigger...
That's a great green, isn't it? It's really gorgeous. Now, we've had a message from Joan. Good morning to you, Joan. She's new to rotary cutting. She needs a little bit more help because she can't cut all the way through. Well, Joan, as I'm clearly now an expert, let me help. That was also a problem that I had. So as Lucy said, cut at a very slight angle, but it's the pushing down. And I kind of heard, you almost hear like a crunch through the fabric. You can hear it cutting through. So it's release the blade at an angle, and then push down. Now, you see, a lot of them will have grips there. Push down and into the side there.
And it's towards the ruler, so it's butting up against that. That's what the ruler's designed for.
So there you go.
There you go.
Cut along. Oh, hello. Cut along. Helps if I actually look what I'm doing, not at Lucy. Cut along, but it's pressing down. I'm pressing down on that rotary cutter as I go.
Because the rotary cutter's designed to rotate, it will do that automatically as you're going. But I think people think it's the forwards that cuts it.
No, it's
but it isn't. It's the down.
So maybe look at the height of the desk that you're cutting onto. We've got a very high desk, which suits me brilliantly. Some of our shorter guests, you'll see them sort of go, because it's a little bit too high for them. But I mean, that's for our cameras and what have you. But it's it is a really good ruler, good rotary cutter, and make sure you've got a sharp blade in there as well. That's the other absolute key. Now, an update on fabric for you. Joel Dewberry, this is the most popular of the hour, which is bizarre. Not that it's the most popular, it's the name of it. We only saw it very, very briefly, but let me show you this again. I just love this one. Really beautiful. Let me show you what this looks like, because I think once you start to see it, now we've cut this as a metre. This is it as a metre, and I just think you start to get that idea of the beautiful, bold repeat in there. Really stunning. $6.95 for the bizarre fabric. Now this is in a lichen, so it's sort of your natural greens. Again, you know, mix this in with some of your florals. It's going to go, it's going to work. It's really, really lovely. EMRW96. Woo, look at that. Now the other one that's very popular this hour, is that one. They are two of my favourites. Now, lots of you getting involved this morning. Thank you for that. And actually, the star of the show, apart from Lucy, clearly, is our creative grids, because this today has solved my fear of cutting. I was nervous about this show. Can I be really honest and say what when we'd planned this show of sort of challenge Lucy, I'd asked for my Fiskars rotary cutter thing that's all cut in, because I'm happy with that and I can cut with that. It's out of stock at the moment, so it was like, right, I've got to overcome my fear. It's got to be done. And so we were like, okay, so for someone like me who's nervous about rotary cutting, and I'm not alone in this, I know I'm not alone, I know a lot of you will try and cut straight lines with scissors, it doesn't work. It's got to be done with a rotary cutter. That's it. If you want the best effect, you've got to do it with the rotary cutter.
And it's about time as well, isn't it?
It is as well.
Scissors
so
take a
much
long
quicker.
time.
So get the right tools for the job. Have a big mat as well. Have a great grid, and that's what we've got here. Creative grids. So what you're looking at. I'm going to go into a lot of detail about this, because this is great for. In fact, let me pop a bit of pistachio so you can see that. Creative Grids is a British company. They are based in Leicester, but they have lots of different quilters from all over the world do designs for them. You've seen Scrap Crazy and all sorts that we've brought to you from Creative Grids. But their fundamentals are the basics that you need for quilting, which are great every time. Now, this was designed by Rachel Cross, who is the daughter of the founders of Creative Grids. Really lovely family-based company. What you have on here are two different types of measurements. The ones in white give you just your straight inches, but if you flip it around, then all the ones in black give you your inches plus a half. So if you want a 6-inch finished something for your quilting, then you want to cut on the black line, on the black measurement, which gives you 6.5, so that then your seam allowance is built in. Now, what you'll notice all the way around the grid, all the way around the ruler, is here on the white side, you've got 1/4 inch, which is highlighted, and it's kind of opaque. That is your non-slip grip. That goes all the way around the ruler. And when it's next to the white, it's 1/4 inch. When it's next to the black, it's 1/2 inch, because of course that's the focus on the 1/2 inch on the black numbers there. Now you'll also notice the circles throughout here, these opaque circles. And again, this is your non-slip grip. So however small, I mean, this is a great big ruler, but however small a piece of fabric you are cutting, you can see all of these little circles. It's going to have great grip all the way around. This ruler has not budged an inch this morning. It just has behaved impeccably. And that is why I went from being nervous about cutting just one layer of fabric to actually cutting 6 layers easy and happily. Lucy, what are you doing?
So this was longer than I thought, but I'm very, very near the end now.
Okay.
So you can make this, you can make this as long or short as you want. Yeah. You want. Oh, my thread snapped.
No!
What I'll show you is
thread.
you would get down to the end.
Yeah.
I'll rethread it. And then, so this would all be sewn together.
Yeah.
And then you cut that.
Right. Okay.
Like that. And then you repeat it and do it again.
Oh, wow. So you're actually...
So end to end.
This is brilliant.
Yeah. It's great when your thread doesn't snap.
You sort that.
I will.
I'm going to show you the other creative grid then. So this big one is £31.95. That's what I've used this morning. It has not budged. I've had a great big surface area to press down on. Absolutely lovely. But Smaller projects, you're not going to want to have such a large implement. So this is a great option as well. So this is 4.5 inches that we're looking at across, and this is 18.5 long. So again, you've got that great long length to cut, but it's not as big to go across. So if you're doing smaller projects, this one absolutely perfect. 19.95. It's got that non-slip grip. That's what we get here. Again, designed by Rachel Cross, who's daughter of the founders of Creative Grids. You're in safe hands. Again, that non-slip grip all the way around the edge, and with these little circles that you can see going across. These are such impressive rulers. So, for instance, I would use this if I wasn't going selvage to selvage, so I was just going to swing it around. If I was just going across like that, then I'd be really happy and confident to use this ruler on slightly smaller projects. Absolutely brilliant. 19.95. Whether you are building up your stash of rulers, I think this is the thing. Once you get going, you can never get enough. Creative Grids, so many of our designers, this is their ruler of choice. They've discovered it and gone, actually, I wouldn't go back to any other make of ruler, because there's no slip. And that's the thing, these rotary cutters are sharp. That's what they're designed to do. I mean, that sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but do get the sharpest rotary cutter and the best ruler, and you're good to go. Now, rotary cutters. Let me show you the rotary cutter. I went for Pretty, not going to lie, but actually it's been incredibly functional. It's from Fiskars, so of course you know that you are in safe hands. It's from Fiskars, great blades, and also blades that are going to be readily available for you to replace as and when you need to. So $13.95 for an unashamedly pretty rotary cutter. Pop it in your stash, it's lovely. YWGQ95 for this. And it's a 45mm blade. That's your most common blade. It's Fiskars, so any of your Fiskars replacement blades that are 45mm gonna fit on here absolutely brilliantly. So it's been really, really easy to cut with. It just folds really nicely in my hand, fits really nicely in my hand. I did wonder whether or not I suddenly realised I put hand cream on before the show, but it didn't shift. It was great. Now, if you caught the start of the show up early, then you will have seen Lucy, who has worked, professionally cutting fabrics for quilts. Then she was very happy to use this. Now, maybe she might let me use this another day. This is the biggest one that we do. This is a 60mm. If you're cutting through, now she cut through 8 layers like it was nothing. Yeah. Just nothing. Well, straight through. $24.95. If you are doing a lot of cutting, if that is your thing, if you're happy to cut, if you've got projects like this that you're just going to cut through, then go for it. Get the big one and make that job easy. It's about making life easy, isn't it? And so that then you enjoy it more. So $24.95, SLGQ51, you're good to go. We like. How are we doing?
Finally got that sorted. So we've sewn that into strips. I'm not going to have time to finish it, but so that's now we've got those strips together. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
It's looking good.
And you can see how those angles, will look. Yeah. And then I would just repeat it and just keep going and sewing put the ends together and sew that. Open that out like that, and just keep, keep on going and sewing those together. So it's a race quilt.
And you can just see.
And you keep on going until you get it to the width that that you want, and then you've finished. But machine problems.
Very pretty. So you cut your strips and you get going. So perfect project for anyone like me who was nervous about cutting. Overcome that fear and just do it. Yeah. And then if and this was the other thing. I wasn't very good at cutting, at sewing straight lines. But once you've done a couple of projects like this, which I now have, straight lines, again, not a problem. These are your basic skills.
And the really nice thing about sewing strips like this is you can just sew them end to end if you want. You don't have to do it on that angle. Right. So if you want to just sew them end to end, that's absolutely fine. We're not stopping and pressing in between. We're just doing it as a race quilt. We can press it all after. Yeah. So as you're going along, when you get to a seam, you can see as you've sewn it, whether you want it to go that way or whether you want it to go that way. And you can just press it as you're going along. So obviously you want to be careful, watch your fingers. and you're just lining up the edges of the strips. Make sure it's folded out.
Right,
you want to make sure they're folded out.
So you don't
because you don't want to catch
underside.
it underneath.
No, I'm with you.
And then you just sew.
This is brilliant. What a quick, easy way to get quilting. Lovely. This is it, isn't it? This is the sort of project that I am so up for doing.
Yeah.
Because it's quick, it's simple, it's effective, it's pretty, it's getting my basic skills in place. You know, I look at some of the amazing quilts that our guests bring, and I just think that's too much for me right now. This is really achievable. I can sew in a straight line, I can now cut in a straight line. Absolutely fab. It's got to be done.
Really easy. And it is quick to go together. Maybe you need a little bit longer than an hour or half an hour to do it. But it makes a really nice design, and you can mix up fabrics. You know, you can use strips. You might want to cut a strip from all of the different fabrics you have in your stash and put it together that way. You know, you can just cut as you like and put them together. You don't need to think about it.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. My tip for you is get those solid colours in. You know, have a look on our website as well, because we've got so many different solids there. But get those solids in, because they're going to make your more expensive fabrics go pop. Let me just show. So, for example, here, with our Tanya Whelan, case in point, the ticking. We've picked out the green. We've picked out that pistachio. You can see how that goes. But then you see we've picked out the blue. And then we've picked out the pink as well. All of those in this ticking fabric. So if you can see, there's that blue in there. That's been picked out. The green's been picked out. The fuchsia's been picked out. All in this one ticking fabric. Absolutely beautiful. $6.95 per half a metre. It's Tanya Wheeler. It's top designer. Absolutely stunning. XRRW 95. It's fresh and it's pretty.
That one is my favourite for binding. I love, so I cut it the other way.
Oh, do you?
Have it across like that, so you get all the little stripes and the little bits of the floral. It's really pretty, makes a lovely binding.
Is this
fabric,
what you would be using then to bind this?
I would,
when we've
yes.
done that?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Grab it. It is just $6.95 per half a metre. XRRW 95. Gorgeous. Lucy, we've got a minute and that's it. But you're going to be back, aren't you?
I am, yes.
What are we doing?
We're doing the bling sling.
The bling sling. How did I forget the bling sling? Yes, the bling sling. Can't wait. Yeah. So again, all these projects, when you've got your beautiful material, you're going to be able to just go for it and make all these beautiful projects. So do join us then. Next up is Victoria Peat. And we're going on our travels with Victoria, so stay with us for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I kind of want to see this finish.
I know.
We need more time. We need more time. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please do check out your baskets, because we don't have endless stock of those fabulous creative grids. They've really made the difference for me. Thank you so much for getting me over my fear. Good. Big cutting mat, good creative grid.
Yes.
Sharp rotary cutter. You are good to go. They're your basics. They're your starting point. Thank you.
I
feel much happier.
You did great.
I will see you in just one moment. Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom-cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step. Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air. Welcome back. Now, I know you at home love a brand new fabric, and we've got two brand new fabrics for you. So without further ado, let me show you the brilliant new fabrics that we've got. It's time to start planning those summer holidays, isn't it? Have you booked yours? Are you going to make us envious and tell us where you're going? Because here we go. This is your airmail print here. Great for that intrepid traveller. Anybody that has any kind of family abroad who are travelling, maybe they're taking a year out, and this is brilliant. This is your airmail fabric. Absolutely fab. Brand spanking new today. Oh yes, never been seen on the Sewing Quarter before. Here it is, 545, 100% cotton from Macawa, NCMY 35, and that is your vacation airmail. Absolutely lovely. Now, this is great. Boys, girls, doesn't matter. It's a fabulous fabric for it. Little bit quirky, brand new today. We love it. Absolutely love it. You love a brand new fabric, and I'm very excited to bring this for you today. So whether you've got grandchildren that are off doing their traveling thing, and you want to send them off with a little something to remind you of remind them of home, then this is the perfect fabric to do so. Absolutely lovely. Think of all of those different projects, all of those different things. We're going to be showing you lots of different ideas today as to what you can be doing with this great fabric. It's fresh, it's modern, lovely colours in there, lots to pick out. So that is our first brand new fabric of the day. Our second one, which Victoria is going to start making things with, is, again, sticking with that vacation theme. These are your postcards. Again, this is from Macawa, 100% cotton. Have I got this right way around? Yes, I have. By the half metre. Again, look at that. Isn't that fun? Absolutely brilliant. Aren't those colours brilliant? You've got that mint in the background. You've got corals. You've got light blues in there. You've got oranges. It's a fab fabric for all of those intrepid explorers. Absolutely brilliant. So I think, you know, something for him, something for her this hour with those two different fabrics. 545 VLMY 49 is your code to get this. And of course, they're going to work beautifully together. Look at the colours together. They work. Yes, they do, because that's what it does. So you see, there you go. There are those two colours together working, an absolute treat. Now, if you want to then put a colour in between that's just going to make them go pop, which we've got today on the show. We like those solids. You know we love a solid. We've done the hard work for you. Look, we've picked out this green in here, this lighter green in here. This is your mint solid. $3.25 from Macawa. Got to show you these things because this is going to go very, very quick today. So let's get all these details out for you so that you've seen it and you know what we've got for you. We've got other beautiful fabrics, but these are the brand new ones today, so it's important that you see them. So if you're after them, it's $3.25 per half a metre. Details RCMY09. Now, we mentioned Victoria Peat. She's waiting in, well, not in the wing. She's made some bags. She's made these. And we're going to make them now in our brand new fabrics. So, beautiful bags, perfect for your travels.
Good morning.
Talking of travels, good morning, Victoria Peat. You
Morning.
have joined us this morning.
I have.
And you said to me this morning, very excited, you just had a text from your dad.
Oh dear, don't make me cry on TV.
Oh, and he's on his way. You haven't
He
seen him
is.
for 2 years.
2 whole years.
And he's on his way. He's at the airport,
He's
ready
Sydney
to go.
Airport, raring to go.
Yay!
It's a long flight. He doesn't get here till 12 tomorrow lunchtime.
That's okay. You'll have made stuff by then.
I will have made a lot in that
You'll be
time,
ready
poor
for
Dad.
him. Absolutely. This
Yeah.
is exciting. Beautiful fabrics.
It's really nice, really fresh.
And classic and classy.
Nicely illustrated.
This is your lady about town. Well, towns.
Many towns.
Many towns.
Globetrotting.
She is globetrotting in style. I would love to look that elegant when I travel.
Oh, I know. I'm always a bit of a mess.
Yeah, bit of a
Comfy
mess.
trousers.
Yeah, absolutely. Flat shoes because I'm walking.
Carrying a ton of stuff because you've got children.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful.
It's nice. Beautifully illustrated.
It
really
is,
like
isn't it? Really classic. This is kind of your Audrey Hepburn. If she were to travel around the world, she'd do it like this.
She would indeed.
She would.
With a
We've
pair of
got-
sunglasses.
Hey, look, we've got Sydney in here.
I know. Sydney and New York and Paris.
Oh, Pisa.
Russia.
Oh, yeah, literally globetrotting. What are we making with it?
We're making a nice tote bag.
So that you can globetrot in
So you
style.
can globetrot. Perfect for either going to the beach, going to the pool. You could use it as your in-flight bag. It's nice and roomy.
You can fit your magazines in here for,
Yes,
for
magazines,
that
bottle of
in-flight
water.
entertainment.
No other liquids, just your bottle of water under however many mils.
100 mil. Yeah. Or buy
Little bit of
duty-free on
water.
the plane. But this is the perfect bag in which to do so. We've seen the bags. We're going to get making without further ado.
Yes.
Because these hours, they just fly by.
They do fly by. But we probably won't achieve the whole bag in the hour, but it's not a big project. It's something to do in a day or over the course of a weekend. It's quite a simple make.
Okay.
It only requires straight lines. So it's a good one. It's a good one if you've never made bags before.
Okay.
And you're a little bit daunted about bag making. This one's quite good because it is just a lot of straight lines.
I like
Careful
this.
cutting and straight lines.
I can.
And now,
I'm so do you know
Straight
what?
line
I'm
expert.
absolutely chuffed to bits now that I've overcome my rotary cutting fear. It may sound, I mean, if you're a seasoned pro, you're probably thinking, "Oh, Natasha, what are you talking about? Just get over it." But it's held me back.
it really does. And I have a lot of people that come to me for lessons and they're either pulling the blade towards or they're going outwards or they're going backwards and forwards like this and hacking an edge. And there is an art to it. But
I
as soon as
don't
someone
think
gives you those
I'm alone.
tips...
Yeah, I didn't think I was
then-
alone in it. Okay, so careful cutting. What are we cutting and how carefully and what sizes?
So we have an outside of the bag.
Right?
We have a lining and a facing for the lining
Okay.
to make it look a bit more polished and neat. And we have a handle, or 2 handles. So you cut 2 of each piece.
Okay.
So 2 of the main bag, 2 facings, 2 linings, 2 handles.
Okay.
We are then attaching to the facing and to the handle pieces
Yes.
iron-on interfacing.
Would you like to give us some measurements for these? Because
Yes,
I know that a
absolutely.
lot of people watch
I'll
this
have to
back.
remind myself. I've got them written down because my memory's not that great. The large bag piece here I've
Yes.
cut as 18 by 15 inches.
Okay.
And I've only got the inches written down, I'm sorry. So
No,
people
no,
will have
it's
to
okay.
recalculate if they're
That's all right.
metric.
Yep.
So 18 by 15 twice from the main fabric. The handles I've cut 32 inches long. By 6 inches, and I've cut those across the width of the fabric rather
Right.
than the length of the fabric to
Okay.
reduce wastage.
Okay.
And the facings I've cut at 2.5 inches by 15 inches, so the same width as the bag, but only 2.5 inches deep.
Okay.
The lining pieces, 2 of those as well, and they are 16.5 inches by 15 inches.
Because then by the time that you've got your seam allowance, it's going to be the same size as this.
Yes, with the
in
facing.
This gorgeous fabric. Brand new today, never been seen on the Sewing Quarter. It's time for your travels. We're travelling in style here. At just £5.45, it's cheaper than the airfare.
a lot cheaper than the airfire.
Absolutely.
And those taxes.
So VLMY49 gets you our brand new vacation postcards, Aqua Fabric by Makawa. Love, 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 love it. Where do we go from here?
Right, let's start with something basic. We're just going to sew the bag right sides together around 3 of the edges.
Okay.
Make sure, because you have a print with a direction on it, that you don't accidentally turn one upside down or that you don't do the whole thing upside down.
I don't know why you look at me.
I've done it before. Don't you worry.
The old stitch on picker is our friend.
Yes.
And so make sure that those fabrics are the right way around.
Yes, the right way around. And like the adage is, measure twice, cut once. Same thing, lay out the fabrics. Just double check that all the ladies are facing the same way.
Ladies.
All the ladies, they are posh
the
ladies.
lovely ladies.
With their matching
I
vanity
aspire
cases.
to be this organised, this polished, this classy.
Coordinated.
It hasn't happened yet, but there's still time.
We all need something to aspire to.
Absolutely. Now, you see, this is Victoria Beckham. When she travels anywhere, looks immaculate everywhere.
Someone else has done her packing for her, though. Without a doubt, surely. Someone helps with the packing.
I don't know, but she comes off like a long-haul flight from America looking absolutely incredible.
She'll have been on a flatbed. Not squished in economy, no leg room.
But it's achievable.
Oh, I hate it when they make you walk off the plane through upper class. It's really annoying, isn't it? Because you walk through and go, oh, they've slept for 8 hours.
Yeah, until it's that point where there's been a child in club class.
Well, when we were younger, we used to fly in business class.
Did you?
Yes, because my dad's business, or the business that he was in, used to pay for us for flights.
Hey.
So that we were, as children, in business class.
You were those children.
We were those children. Terrible.
There is that moment, isn't there, where you get the crossover of those people that don't have children that just glare at parents with small children on planes, and then there are those that are travelling without their children but have travelled with their children,
yes,
who feel your pain. And it's, and how as soon as you have children, your
perception changes.
Yeah, you suddenly pity those poor people. Now, we are making today, talking about our travels, let's have messages from you today. Where are you going on your holes? Have you booked anywhere? Not yet. No, neither have I. But where are you going? Make us envious. Go on, do it. On our fabric today, we've got New York.
Is anyone going to New York?
Yeah, love from New York. Lovely London. Greetings from Sydney. Well, that will be your dad.
That would be Dad.
Although possibly not in a dress.
Or with a minty bag. Not Dad's colour.
There are lots of colours in it. I'm going to go and get this fabric so you can see it in its absolute joy.
Just to let people know, I'm sewing this with a 1/2-inch seam allowance.
Okay.
But to be honest, when you are making a bag such as this, you can choose any seam allowance as long as you're consistent around when you're sewing the main part of the bag and the lining. That's fine. You just need one to fit inside the other, so you don't want to do 2 different seam allowances.
I've got a fabric for your dad.
Go on then.
This one.
Oh yes, mix that in with some blue and he'd be fine.
He'd love this. Here we go. So this is your blue. This is your airmail. Brand new today. Absolutely fabulous. Brand new today. Here we go. So £5.45 per half a metre. It's great. Anyone that travels is going to absolutely love this. Maybe you're making a bag. Maybe you're going to make, I don't know, any of the projects that we've had. Laptop cases for the boys that are travelling. You know, my friend, her husband flies every week. Then this would be very appropriate. £5.45, NCMY 35. Whether you're going to pick out those blues or the mints that we've got for you, this is just perfect. Or just a plain white as your lining fabric. It's entirely up to you. But of course, maybe this is your lining fabric and you're using it with our other gorgeous fabric, in which case, go for it. Whee! Very popular this hour. Lots of you popping it in your basket. Now, because this is first time on air, we don't have masses of stock. We thought you would love it, but you are now confirming it. So please do check out your baskets. Lots of you sit in your basket. So please do check out your baskets to make sure that you get it. £5.45, VLMY 49, brand new today. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you've seen these, this is what we're making, by the way. Take a look. Ha-ha, here. Let me show you the fabrics that they are in. So whilst Victoria does a little bit of ironing.
Yeah, I've got my ironing pile with me.
Yeah, I know.
Might be a while.
Yeah, we haven't got any hangers for your shirts, just so that you know. Now, Oh, I love this one. Batik. Can't beat a spot of batik. Look at the colours here. Woohoo! Isn't that stunning? Isn't that absolutely stunning? This is your buttons in batik. Now, you could use this as an unusual spot fabric, but actually the colours in here, absolutely beautiful. It's got that rainbow effect going on, but in that batik unusual print. Absolutely love it. $6.95. It's from Macau. It's just a stunning one. Absolutely stunning. Now, if you bought the fuchsia fabric from the previous hour, then that works an absolute treat, as does our purple. We've got another gorgeous batik as well. Let me show you the other one, which is called Hot Pink Leaf. Here's why. Love, love, love this. Woohoo! Here it is. That's hot pink. But you know, and it's the wrong way round. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is, for me, you've got those hot summer colours, but this is going to take you through to autumn as well. Absolutely beautiful. Again, $6.95 per half a metre. But this has got the wow factor, hasn't it? Isn't this just gorgeous? Now, we've done that thing of matching your plains to go with it. Let me show you. So, with both of these beautiful fabrics, you'll see it's been beautifully cut because we just grabbed it off the last show. So you would get, obviously, the full amount that I haven't been cutting into. But this is your fuchsia, and as you can see, it's working beautifully with both of those fabrics there. $3.25 per half a metre. But I hear you say, you've got a gorgeous purple running through both of those fabrics. What if I want that? Well, if you want that, look, we've got it for you. No problem at all. Again, $3.25. Make the most of these solids. They are so handy to have. And it just goes to show, doesn't it? You know, I said to you earlier with the fuchsia, it works. Have it as a core in your stash because so many fabrics have that beautiful colour in here. But then purple, again, this is such a great purple to have in your stash as well. It's bold, it's bright, it's strong, and look, it just works with those buttons, an absolute treat. So whichever fabric you're going for, if you're going for the purple, which is this one, this is your real purple, $3.25, and you can see Victoria here has used it in the lining of her bag. There. And it just works. Absolutely works. What are you doing?
Right, so...
Now, if you're after the most popular fabric, sorry.
No, that's all right.
This came up. Better talk about it. If you're after the most popular fabric, firstly, please check out your baskets, because it has been that popular.
Make it yours.
$5.45. Well, that's it. It's only yours once you check out that basket. If you're just sitting with it in your basket, someone can swoop in from the phones and grab it like an eagle. Yeah. VLMY 49. A fabric eagle. Now, we've sewn...
Main body of the bag.
Round the edge.
Half an inch.
Half an inch.
Half an inch.
What did I say?
Quarter.
Yeah, ignore me, listen to her.
Half an inch. You could do a quarter, but half is easier to work with.
Be consistent, though. Whichever you choose, be consistent. That's the key.
And I've just pressed open those seam allowances around those three edges. Now I'm going to attach the facing to the lining. And I've got the strip that was interfaced, and I've used the iron-on interfacing. And we're going to attach these, I'm going to say right sides together, but these solids don't really have a right side and a wrong side.
That's the joy of it. It makes your life easy.
I know, it does.
Okay, let me show you the interfacing to start off with. I never know which weight interfacing to use. We've got medium here. Is that what you use?
Yeah, medium is pretty much a good stash item to have in your wardrobe. In your wardrobe? I'm thinking of the little cupboard I've got at home that I've got all my interfacing in.
Do you know what? I keep all my fabric in the wardrobe. It's all hung.
Oh.
Well, yeah, because if I've got it by half metre or metre, then I hang it so I can just flick through like it was my clothes, flick through and find the colours that I want.
In a year's time, that wardrobe won't be big enough.
No, I know.
It's terrible.
It's a double wardrobe.
Terrible. But
so
medium weight
your
interfacing is good because if you go heavy weight, particularly for something like bag making, just make it too stiff. You need to give a bit of body without making it too rigid.
$2.95 for that. Just pop that in your basket. BPGQ24. But the main thing here is about this beautiful fabric, brand new today. You've got to grab it while you can. Let's show you. We've just seen the postcards. Let's have a look at the airmail. Woohoo! Great for your bags going on holiday. Great for your accessories going on holiday. We've got some projects later. It's all about your travels today. Jill's messaged in. She's off to Portugal. Oh,
lovely, Jill. How nice.
Are you off to Portugal as well, Producer Paul? Are you? For a little bit of late summer sun? Nice. Good. Yeah, good. Jill, you can't be the only one going on holiday. Who else is going on holiday? Cameraman Mike, are you going on holiday? You are. Where are you going? Disneyland?
Disneyland? I really want to go.
Wow! Awesome. You see, this is it. We should make you some bags out of this so that you can go. Well, you'll probably go whether
probably go regardless.
But you know,
I
this
would
be lovely. £5.45, NCMY 35. I like to have just a little bag, a little pouch where I keep my essentials, be it passport, little things like that.
Or things like headphones.
Yeah.
Especially the in-ear ones.
Yeah.
The cable gets everywhere. So that's quite good to have a little drawstring bag for something like that.
Tangled if you have to, because you have to put it in the little crates to then go through. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Right, with the facing, I've sewn the facing to the lining right sides together, same seam allowance. I'm now just going to press the seam allowance towards the main body of the bag. And that's easier to do it that way because the facing's been interfaced, so it has more body than the lining. So it's easier to press it away. Otherwise, you're pushing it back on itself and it gets more bulky.
Yeah, no, don't
so I'm going to press that away, and then I'm just going to run a line of stitching through that seam allowance that I've pressed downwards.
This is the next step up in your bag making, isn't it? This is just adding that little bit of an extra polished finish to it.
It does. It just makes it look a little bit smarter.
Yeah. Gillian would like to know how much fabric is needed to make this bag.
I have done that from... I wish you wouldn't have asked that question because I can't remember. That was the other day. I'm pretty sure I made the larger bag from 1 metre of fabric.
Okay.
Leave it with me. I'll work it out.
Okay, well,
hold on. Actually, I can solve that because I have the fabric that I cut it from.
Ah, there we go. So this is what was left over. That's a ½ metre.
That's left over from my metre of fabric.
Oh, from your metre?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've cut the handle... what did I cut out there? No. So I've cut the main body of the bag out.
From down the bottom.
Yeah, I've cut the main body of the bag at the bottom.
Yeah.
I've cut the facings here, and actually I cut the handles out down the length of the fabric.
If you get your metre of fabric, so that's under £11 for your metre of fabric, and you've got a whole load left over, then you can have matching accessories. Check out the next 2 hours of shows.
You can make what I'm making in the...
or matching. And also in the next hour as well, because we're doing our bling sling.
Ooh, there you go.
Nice. Just lovely. What a great fabric. So we've got 2 brand new fabrics for you. We've got the vacation postcards. Let me show you the airmail one as well. Whichever one you're going for. A little something for him or for her. Here we go. So £5.45 for this, which we absolutely love. Now you see, you can pick out that peach in there, you can pick out a white for your lining, you can pick out the mint, you can pick out the blues, it all works. £5.45, NCMY 35 for you there. Now, if you need some inspiration, now we've got a non-pattern project for you today. You can watch again, you can get the measurements from that, super easy. But I know a lot of you just like to work from patterns. Come with me because we've got a book for you. Oh, yeah, here we go, over here. Which is your quilted bags and gifts book. So if you love to quilt and you love to make your bags, this is the book for you. Here it is. Let's have a little flick through. Oh, is this going to come up on the screen or not? Okay, we'll get that loaded for you later, but it's a really lovely one to have. So we'll get the details for that for you in just one moment. Whilst I'm here, let me show you these beautiful fabrics. Let's go with the buttons. Again, this is one that's always so popular, and here's why. Because it's bright, it's vibrant, it's fun, and it's just that little bit different. Maybe you're quilt making out of this, maybe you're bag making, maybe you're cushion making, maybe you just want to inject that bit of colour into your house, into your home, into your life. This is the one to go with. $6.95. It's a batik fabric. It's absolutely lovely. It's got slightly more texture to it than just a normal cotton. I think that's just the way that it's printed, but it just feels slightly more robust.
It's got a bit more body to it.
Yeah, it's got more body. It's a great way of explaining it. So that's $6.95. Now we've teamed it with 2 different solids because we just think that that works so well. So whether you want to go for the pink or the purple, let me give you the details for each, because you can see that if you're mixing and matching, whether you're quilting with it, whether you're bag making with it, this just works an absolute treat. So let's have a look at, which one first? We've got the pink, we've got the fuchsia, and we've got the purple. Producer Paul's just going to see which one he fancies popping up. Purple! Let's have a look at the purple. Here's the purple, a lovely, rich, striking purple that goes with it absolutely beautifully. This is how we've lined the bag that's made out of this. $3.25 FBMY06. $3.25 for that. Now let me show you, because I think that works really well with that. But with the hot pink batik, the fuchsia is working an absolute treat. So we've got this, again, another batik, another material with just a little bit more body. I don't know if that's how it's printed or what it is that makes it just feel that little bit more, well, bodied, if you will. $6.95, that's probably the worst description ever, but never mind, you know what I mean. YUMY53. Victoria, stop giggling at me.
Serious, I'm very serious.
You're meant to be supportive.
Not giggling.
Laughing at me. But that's your beautiful batik. And of course, the fuchsia that we've seen on the earlier show, back again because it's one of those cool ones to have in your stash at $3.25. It's going to work an absolute treat. So just beautiful. I love these. They're bright, they're vibrant. Now, I said that I would bring you that book. I think it's back. Let's have a look. Have we got the, yay, $12.95 for the book. Because here's the thing, we are making a book without a pattern, but a lot of you I know love to have a pattern in your life, and here we go. This is what we've got for you for today. So for $12.95, let me show you the sort of things that you can be making. If you love quilting and you love your bags, this is the perfect combo. So before you begin, showing you all the things that you need to know about before you get started. And then as you work your way through, all different stitches that you can use, how to pop zips in. So it's kind of a how-to. 36 different projects. So basic techniques that you can make a bag in a weekend. So if you are a quilter, then, and you just want to have, because sometimes, you know, you can't actually have any more quilts in your house. And so you've got to find other things to quilt. And so tote bags, handbags, a girl can never have enough of those. Never have too many of those. Coin purses in there, so everything from the small to the large. You can even do tapestries in here. Step-by-step instructions make it super simple to go with and to work with. Absolutely lovely. Oh, love that. $12.95 for this. Pop it in your basket. Give yourself a little bit of inspiration. Now, we've also got 2 patterns for you because I know that you love a pattern. Now, these are for a company called Noodlehead. These are your 2-for-1 tote. We've only got single figures of this left. We had this on
like
When
that
It's
pattern.
Gone, It's Gone show. It didn't quite go. $9.95 for your pattern. KOHN62. This is from a company called Noodlehead. A lovely lady who had her kids and decided that she didn't want to go back being a graphic designer. She was going to set up her own business and called the company after her very curly-haired daughter that they lovingly called Noodlehead. So that's how the name came about. This is your maker's tote. This is your other option here, $9.95.
Oh, that's on my to-do list.
CPHN93. I love it. The pockets and everything in there. It's a slightly more advanced project, but if you love your bag making, that's the one for you. $9.95. £9.95 if you're someone who needs a pattern. Maybe this is too scary to go off-piste. Actually, I love working, just making stuff up, so this is great for me. I know a lot of you love to have a pattern there. So we're there for everyone this morning here at the Sewing Quarter. Now, airmail, where are we at?
So I have attached the lining and facing pieces right sides together. The sticking point that you have on here is making sure that the facing and the lining where it joins matches on both sides.
Yes.
So make sure those join up, and then you're sewing around the outside of the bag, but you're leaving a gap in the base. So let me just show you on here. You want that point to match here.
Yes, that's where you start to get those little professional finishes that make all the difference.
Line it up. And then on the base, I've just put 2 pins in the opposite way round because I'm going to sew round the outside.
Oh, so that's your
here,
code.
Back stitch, and then I'll start again here, back stitch, and go around the other sides.
Some of our designers put 2 pins in. Everyone's got their little way of marking. Some will use a clip rather than a pin so that they know it's that little reminder, oh, I need to stop here so that I've got that bagging out little gap.
Because you can get carried away otherwise.
Oh, I do.
If you're listening to the radio or watching Sewing Quarter at the same time, I quite often get totally carried away.
We get an awful lot for this, and why not? So if you'd like the vacation postcard fabric, which is what we're using today, it's brand new. Please check out your baskets if you've got that in your stash. If you've got it in your basket ready to go, please do check it out because it is very popular this morning.
Good.
Hurrah.
It's nice and fresh.
It is, isn't it? Something a little bit different. We've got 2 brand new ones for you this hour. This is your vacation postcard. Very classy lady here. Think Audrey. And those big sunglasses. Oh, yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. This is how travel should be.
Yes, and how it was.
Yeah, back in the magical days where they went in convertible cars and their hair didn't get ruffled.
Maybe the cars didn't go as fast.
Yeah, they just didn't move. That was
Lots of hairspray.
Yeah. So that's love from New York. You've got greetings from Sydney. You've got lovely London in there. What's the Rome? What's it say on Rome?
There's a Rome one up here, I've just seen.
Roma, something like that.
Amore, maybe.
Amore, yeah. Ciao, Bella. That's as much as I can manage. Bon voyage, greetings from Sydney. All sorts going on here. It's really lovely. We've got some lovely messages in. Thank you ever so much. Erica, good morning to you. She's off cruising around the Baltics next week.
That's unusual. How nice.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, take a project with you.
Bit of hand stitching.
You get a bit of time, don't you?
Yeah. Must do. I say yes, having never been on a cruise.
No, me no. But my in-laws do. They're always on a cruise. They love a good cruise.
Oh, friends of my parents do. They do it a lot. They love it.
Absolutely. Well, it's all laid on for you, isn't it? You know, it's all there.
No thinking required.
But you do have to dress for dinner.
Oh,
but
like that's nice though.
Yeah,
how often do you dress for dinner in normal life?
Do you know what though? This fabric, like the postcard one, could you imagine that in like a 50s vintagey dress?
Yeah, with a big skirt.
It'd be amazing.
It look
like
lovely,
a
wouldn't it?
circle skirt.
Yeah, loads and loads. Petticoat underneath, fitted. Look lovely.
And then I think we should make John Scott a shirt out of the airmail one.
Oh, yes. That'll look good with a contrast, maybe blue contrast for the inside of the cuffs and under the collar.
He'd love it.
And the collar band.
Are you volunteering?
No. Right, so on
Too late to watch, she said.
Didn't say it wasn't me. Just opening those seam allowances as far as you can.
Why it makes it
makes it easier when you come to join the lining to the main body of the bag.
Right.
If these, because you can see these stick up.
Yes.
And they're not very neat.
And they're faced. They've got that interfacing on.
So you just need to poke that down and do it open because that spreads the bulk.
Right.
Because if you pressed it all to one side, it just gets really bulky and horrid. So I spread those, and I've just done a little bit down.
That's perfect.
I'm going to stay at the ironing board.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw this across you.
Right.
These straps, I've done the straps nice and wide to give it...
Oh, so it doesn't dig in.
It doesn't dig in, it gives the bag as much strength as possible.
Okay.
Because you don't want to spend all this time making a bag only for it to end up being flimsy and horrid. So I am folding the handles in half, and I'm going to press that.
Now, again, you used your interfacing on this as well,
Yes,
didn't you, to give
yeah.
it that extra bit of...
It'll give it the extra body, but it will also stop it from stretching.
Oh, okay.
Because the cotton will eventually stretch, especially if you've got loads of books in and magazines and your water bottle, end up with stretchy handles.
Are you suggesting that I overfill my bags?
No, you are going prepared.
Ah, no, I like that. There is a
Prepared
difference.
for every eventuality.
Yes. Yes.
So give that a press. So I've pressed that in half along its length.
Right.
And now I'm going to go along the length. I'm going to go one side at a time. And I'm going to tuck in that raw edge so that it goes to that crease point that we've just made.
This is like making binding.
It is a bit like making jumbo binding.
Yeah.
I'll just tuck that in. Except Clover don't make one big enough for this.
Oh, Clover.
Come on, Clover.
Come on.
Just make sure that's even and that's tucked nicely in.
Excuse me.
And press along.
Looking good. Nice.
And this is where cutting with a rotary cutter gives you much better results, because you can cut out this bag by hand with scissors, but using a rotary cutter you're less likely to get
No, I am
wonky.
a convert. I'm going to be honest. Having had an expert now show me where I was going wrong with my rotary cutting, I do feel comfortable to do that. Now your bags, if you've just joined us, good morning. Your bags are going to look like this, but in a different style of fabric. We've got that fabric as well for you. So these are both from our beautiful batik range. Now the batik buttons, which is the one in front there, $6.95, TVMY04. And then we've got a slightly different hot pink batik for you, which we've shown you. And that, again, $6.95. The batiks are just such a beautiful sort of... Oh, well, the hot pink certainly is for an organic-y feel going to it. Really lovely. So grab those. There you go. That's your hot pink leaf.
They're such nice bright colours.
I'm going to grab it because I haven't shown you a picture of it. So let me just grab you that hot pink batik. Woohoo! Check this out. Love it. It's just
I love
gorgeous,
it. Yeah,
isn't it?
I do really like it. I like the pinks. I'm a
It's
pink
that
kind of
warmth
person.
colour. Obviously, we've got some cotton stuck on it somewhere.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yay!
Third hand.
$6.95 per half a metre. But that is a wow fabric, isn't it? That has got that. Whoa! Look at that.
Should we make John a shirt out of that one instead?
Yeah. Then you'd have to go to Hawaii though to wear it.
Oh,
It'd be
no,
like a
hold on.
Hawaii shirt. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So come on. Where are you going on your holiday? We've had Portugal, we've had Disneyland. Where else are you all off to? Do you know, maybe it's your caravan. You know?
Where I live, because I'm close to the Welsh border, a lot of the families all go off to Wales.
Yeah.
All scooting off.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the handle now has been sewn, like you say, like bias binding. So they're in the middle. The raw edges are enclosed in the middle.
Okay.
And we'll now just... you don't have to pin at this stage because the interfacing gives it that body. So when you press it, you can see the edges stay quite sharp.
Yes.
So we'll just leave that folded and we're going to sew along the outside edge. So depending on your sewing machine, you might have an edge stitch foot or you might have a needle that you can position left and right.
Okay.
That just helps you sew
As
evenly
close.
and straight and close to the edge as you can.
Nice. And are we going all the way around the edge?
No need to go across the short edges, just down the length, because the short edges get trapped inside the bag.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I'm going to just, on this machine, you go to the zigzag function on this machine and then you can change left or right. So I'm going with the needle position all the way over to the right.
Are you going to stitch a zigzag or are you going to stitch
No,
a
on this
straight stitch?
particular machine, if you've chosen stitch number 1, if you go to stitch width, it doesn't turn it into a zigzag. It allows you to change the position of the needle.
Clever.
And that's like that on a lot of machines. And it's quite an odd thing to get your head around. But if you select stitch number 1, you come down and you choose the width. I've then gone to width number 7, which means that it goes all the way this way. But if you wanted to go all the way back the other way,
moving across.
it takes it all the way back across the left. And this is a nice machine because it's got a really good, I think it's got 7 different needle positions as you go across, lots of options. So now what I've done is I've taken the edge of the strap and I've placed it against the edge of the foot to help guide visually where I'm going. Because when you're sewing, you don't watch the needle, you watch your fabric and the foot.
Okay.
Or
because the needle's just going to do its thing.
The needle's going to do its thing. A lot of the time, you've got to remember to let the machine do the work for you. It's set up to sew straight. So just let the machine do what it needs to do.
This was a bit of a revelation for me when I updated from my 50-plus-year-old machine to a newfangled modern one.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I know, fancy schmancy, get me. But it just, you know, it was suddenly I had a machine that wanted to sew straight and the feed dogs just fed it through beautifully, evenly straight. Revelation, love it, never look back. So if you're after your vacation postcards, fabric is $5.45 per half metre. Thank you for your messages. Producer Paul, what are the messages? Francis, hello, good morning to you. She's camping in Devon.
Oh, nice.
And then later on in the year, she's going to Cuba. Oh, you know who's flying to Cuba today, don't you?
Oh, who?
Producer Hannah.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's off cycling around Cuba.
Oh, very jealous.
I've been lying on a beach.
We taught my 6-year-old how to cycle at the weekend.
Oh, fabulous.
No stabilisers.
Hey,
next year, Cuba.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cycling holiday in Cuba with a 7-year-old.
Off to Turkey.
Oh, nice.
And Marie, good morning, Marie. She's booked a week off so that she can spend it in her sewing room. A staycation.
I love it.
We all love a staycation. Yes.
But pretend you've gone away so no one calls in.
We're an antisocial bunch, aren't we? Don't want to see anyone. Who said a fabulous fabric? Oh, Sharon, I'm with you, Sharon. Fabulous fabric for skirts.
Yes.
For one of the... Oh, the batik. What, do you know what I think any of these would be? Especially like the postcard one. I can see this on like a 50s circular skirt.
Rockabilly.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
You know, that might not show you what I mean by the fabric. Let me show you. Yes. Actually. See? Brand new today. Woohoo! Vacation postcards. She's chic and a traveller. Here, there and everywhere, looking swank and elegant and rather gorgeous.
And sending postcards to everyone.
Galore. Yeah.
People don't send postcards anymore, do they?
No, but they do generally put up photos on social media of their feet on the sun lounger looking at the sea.
Yeah, instead of one postcard, you now get 50 other pictures.
Yeah, VLMY 49. This is your vacation postcard, $5.45. But do you know what? My friend Emma Claire will always send me a postcard from wherever she is. And I love that.
It is
lovely.
lovely
To receive a postcard. It's just that, it's that little extra thing if someone's thinking of you, isn't it? Really nice.
Taking the time to learn how to buy a stamp in a foreign language.
Oh, hang on. Director Tom is saying that the last 2 postcards he got were from where? Madagascar and Somalia.
Crikey, his friends are interesting.
Yeah, fab. Oh, his friend works with animals, so she goes all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
Great job.
Here we go. This is, of course, airmail. Do we still send airmail things? Of course we do. $5.45 per half a metre here for your vacation airmail. NCMY 35. Gorgeous. A little bit more masculine, perhaps. I'm just going to have a little coughing fit. Over
you
to
do that
Victoria.
whilst you cough and do your bit. We're now going to attach the handles to the lining of the bag, but we're just going to base them in place to begin with.
Right.
And try and get your handles evenly on the bag. We're going to put the handles, make sure they're not twisted, make sure they're all straight. Put them here so you've got your raw edges and place them inside the bag. Let's just stick a pin here just for a minute to keep that out the way so you can see sort of what I'm doing. and I'm going to measure from the outside edges to the edge of the beginning part of the handle.
Right.
And I'm going to do that. I'm going to move that across, and I'm going to measure 3.5 inches. But you can measure as far as you like, but don't go too close to the edges because it won't sit particularly well. Just stick a little pin there for a second. The edge of the handle is going to protrude above the facing by, move that down a little bit, go down by 1.5 inches.
Why? Why is it going to do
that? The way I've done that is to give the bag a bit more strength.
Right, okay.
So just stick a pin in there so I don't move it. A bit tough through all the layers. But what we'll do is then when we're going to base that in place, and then that will get caught in the seam later. And then when you turn it round, yeah, the end of the handles will get caught. Would you mind passing? Oh no, that's not a bag there. One of the finished bags, and I'll demonstrate on a finished bag. We're just going to catch the end of those handles in the seam of the facing almost. So on the inside,
take the stuffing out.
and then. So on the inside, and you'll be able to feel and verify, the ends of the handles then come down within the facing and underneath.
Oh, yeah, look, you can see that's where it's... Hang on.
Inside.
That's where it's ending along there, and it's sitting like that.
So once we've dropped, we've added the main body of the bag and the lining, we're then going to top stitch on the outside, both near the top edge of the bag and further down here, and that's what sort of catches the ends of the handles. So then your handles are in two places.
Nice.
Some people do, I mean, you might actually just do a little crisscross, but actually I think it's quite nice to hide it in a second line of stitching.
I like that. Now, you see, you're going to be able to fit a towel, magazine, bottle of water, off you go, sun cream, or if you're not going anywhere, then, just go and get your veggies in it. It's got that reinforced handle, you see. It's all good to go. And then, you see, maybe then if you've got the lovely vacation fabric, then it'll just make you feel like you're, somewhere a bit posh.
On holiday when you're just down at the market.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing, when you're on holiday, you always find a market somewhere, don't you?
Oh, yes, you do, and it's all very exciting. And you think, why
it's
don't
far
I go
better
to the
than
market at home?
Why do I not do that? I am a market girl. I do love a good market.
Yeah, it is nice.
I will always get my fruit and veg from lovely Val in the market where I go to.
That's nice.
Gone to her for years.
Just rooting around in here for the sewing clips. So I've attached these with the pins, but I'm also going to just add some of these jumbo clips. Oh, through all layers would help.
Now you've gone for jumbo ones here. Why were the small ones just not up for the job?
Well, I just think they're quite nice to really get in, because you can use your smaller clips in here.
But actually, no, you can see.
Actually, I quite like using the larger clip.
They're $12.95 for 12 of them. They go MOGQ84 for the jumbo for these ones. These
the
big
long ones.
You can really see the difference, can't you? How much bigger they are. They're your little ones there. These are your big jumbo ones.
There you go. There's two to compare.
Yeah, they're big ones.
So I'm just going to now baste along. Oh, thank you, and stick a bigger one in. Thank you. And I'm going to repeat with the other side and baste within the seam allowance, so a quarter of an inch or whatever. Yeah. Just a long basting stitch to attach those handles. But I'll just position the other side whilst I'm here.
And that's really keeping those long clips, really keeping them in position. Now, of course, you've done the clips so that they're going to just, the base, that's where you're going to have it along your sewing machine.
Yes, because there's a right side and a wrong side to the clips. So if you can get the flat side along the side that's going to sit along the sewing machine, that's a lot easier.
Do you know what? I never realised how much there was to a wonder clip. Let me give you an anatomical look at a wonder clip. Here it is. They are wondrous, and here's why. Firstly, you can clip through multiple layers. You can see you'll be able to clip lots of fabric. So if you're quilting, of course, absolutely perfect, because that puffy fabrics, if you've got your wadding in, it's going to clip through there. Opens nice and wide. You'll see in the inside, it's then got little grips, so it's going to grip your fabrics. It's not going to go anywhere. And then on the underside here, you've then got your measurements so that you can see how far in you're clipping, which is very clever. So you've got, it goes up in 1/4 of an inch increments, very handy to use.
Yeah, I didn't know for a long time that they had them on the back.
Did
and
you
then
not
I looked,
know how wondrous they were?
How wondrous indeed. And I looked and I went, oh, look at that, that's really clever.
Clever. I like it when things are cleverer than you first imagined.
I know.
When you thought that something was good, and then it gives you a little surprise of being even better.
Awe and delight.
Yeah, happy days. Happy days. Happy days, of course, are when we are on holiday. We're going to baste in these handles.
Yes, just baste the top. So it just means that when you come to attach the main body of the bag, that the handles don't go awry, don't go squiffy. Oh, I've not done a basting stitch, I've done a normal stitch. Doesn't matter.
That's all right.
That's all right. They're definitely in.
They are, they're not going anywhere.
No.
Extra reinforcement there. Whilst you do that, I'm going to show you the fabrics, because they're rather fab. So the postcards that we've got on the screen for you at the moment is this one. Yeah, look at this. Brand new today. Please do check out your baskets if you've got it in there. She's our lady about town, our girl about town.
With her beret.
Yes,
and a fancy hat.
Stylish. We love it. 545 VLMY 49. We've also got patterns. So if you are someone that just has to work from a pattern, you can't freestyle it. If you have to work from a pattern, we've got it. We got it for you. Here we go. One of our most popular bag patterns. We've only got a handful left, so we don't want anyone missing out. $9.95. This is by Noodlehead. 2 for 1 tote bag pattern there. COHN 62. And then the other one from Noodlehead. Oh, this is the one that you've got on your to-do list, isn't it?
It is.
Is the Maker's Tote, and it's got lots of different divisions inside. $9.95 for the whole pattern there.
Has that been made on the show, the Maker's Tote?
No, it hasn't.
I'll have to have a look around.
CPHN 93 for your Maker's Tote. And then, of course, a book. So if, quite frankly, you need lots and lots of inspiration, you're a quilter, you want things to quilt all over the place, everything from a coin purse all the way up to a sort of tapestry, 36 projects in there, $12.95, KXSP50. In your quilted bags and gifts, a project for a weekend.
That's what we like. So those have been basted to the top. I've turned that round because we're now going to put the lining into the main part of the bag. So yes, they need to be right sides together.
Now you've taught me about this, about attaching linings, and I'm very grateful to you for it. Always just, because this is where I get a bit like,
what am I doing next?
Is it the right way around? Right sides together.
Right sides together.
So
yes.
the lining goes in the right way round.
Yes, the lining effectively looks like you can see the fabric.
Yeah.
The bag itself, wrong way round. And I'm just starting off with the side seams. Start with your side seams, pin those in place. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to pin through these seam allowances so that when you run them over the sewing machine, the feed dogs don't
they're going to stay
pick up on them.
Place.
And they don't go all bulky, because it seems a shame to take the time to press your seam allowances open and then sew over them and mess them up.
Excellent.
I'll just attach those. So I've done the side seams.
Who's off to Lanzarote?
Oh,
Sharon. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Lanzarote.
yeah, I've not been.
Yeah, very nice.
Tenerife
If
once.
you could go anywhere, where would you go? I mean, bear in mind that you're actually Australian, aren't you?
Yes.
From Australia.
Yeah. I would say go back and see Mum and Dad, but Dad's on his way, so that seems a bit of a daft waste of holiday resources.
Producer Paul says he would go to the Galapagos.
Oh, me too. I was just going to say,
did
somewhere
you
South
see
America.
that
I
programme
did
on
see
the
some of it.
Galapagos?
Amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Quite fascinating.
Yeah, just incredible. So, loads of places that I want to visit. Just loads. Too
I
many
love
to
travelling.
mention.
We're waiting for the children to get a little bit older, and then we're going to go to South
That's when you
Africa.
leave them at home.
Oh no, we've done that. Not on their
One of
own.
my favourite. Oh no,
With grandparents.
suitable
It's fine.
adult supervision. South Africa.
Yeah, it's lovely. But
The
I just think
animals,
young
the-
children are going to
oh.
be bored on safari. Do you not think? There's a lot of downtime.
Do you know one of the best safaris that I did was actually a walking safari.
Oh, we did that too.
Did you do that? Because we'd seen all the big animals, but actually I was really fascinated.
They know so much.
They do, even down to the little grubs that make like a cone shape in the sand, so that anything that falls in can't get back out again. That's what you get when you do a walking one. It's just amazing.
Well, what we got when we did a walking one was eating elephant poo.
Oh, you get to see all the dung beetles.
So we had, they had, because apparently elephants eat a certain type of nut that they can't digest.
Oh,
so it just goes through their system, and the guide rummaged through some dung and said, here, you can eat this. It's come out of an elephant.
Let's not.
I kept the nut rather than ate it.
Yeah, no, don't know. I wouldn't recommend that.
Because you never know whether people are taking the mick.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't risk it. Here we go. This here is our brand new today Vacation Airmail fabric, $5.45 per half a metre. Perfect, actually perfect for all the projects we've got coming up. In the other 2 shows coming up. NCMY 35, your Vacation Airmail fabric by Macawa, 100% cotton. It's going to wash absolutely beautifully. Of course, you can make this in dressmaking. We would love to make John Scott a shirt in this. Indeed. We think he would look very dapper indeed.
Well, it could be his challenge. He can sew.
Well, he
can do that on his days off.
Oh my goodness, can he sew?
There you go.
Yeah.
Little challenge for him.
Yeah. And now, as it is brand new, we don't have loads of it, so please check out your baskets, make sure that you're getting it. This is producer Paul's favourite. I think just because it's a fabulous large print, isn't it?
When's producer Paul going to learn to sew?
I don't know when producer Paul's going to learn to sew, but I think he's getting the idea of it. You know, he's
We'll hoodwink him into it.
Yeah. Now, lots of you multi-buying this. I don't blame you. It's a fabulous fabric. $5.45. He says he doesn't need to sew. He's got all of you guys to do it for him. VLMY 49. He says, why when everybody here can sew for him? One day, producer Paul, there'll be a moment where you're home alone and a button needs sewing.
Oh, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Will you have paid enough attention to do it yourself?
No, I think so. VLMY 49, £5.45. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. He said he'd find something else to wear and bring it in.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
So I'm just to let people know, I'm sewing around the top edge of the bag using that same seam allowance. I've chosen 1/2 inch.
Now you said pick your seam allowance and stick with it. Doesn't matter which one you pick.
Good bit of consistency.
Just stick with it. Yes, and of course those handles already basted in.
Yeah, so they're not going to move around, and you'll get the right distance that you need.
Nice. Very nice. If you've joined us this morning, good morning. We feel like we're on our travels today. It's all about your holidays. A lot of you got some lovely holidays planned by the sounds of it.
Yeah, well organised. Although it is May now.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. We are almost out of time. So that bag will look like this, but obviously in the vacation fabric.
So once you've done this, you turn it through the lining that you left, the hole that you left in your lining.
Yes.
Turn it through. Give it a press on this edge along here, and then run a top stitch here, and then from the inside of the bag, I find it easier to do, come into the inside, and if you can see this, you just run a line of stitching along the facing.
Fabulous. Thank you ever so much. We are out of time for this hour.
Where did it go?
But stay with us because we've got lots more ideas for you as you take to your travels. Join us in a moment.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
It's easy to buy the products you see on our shows. To buy any of the items featured on today's programmes, just head over to our website www.sewingquarter.com. Click on the video stream and you'll be taken to our watch page. Here you'll find the product that is on air right now at the top of the page. Beneath that, you'll find all the products demonstrated in this morning's shows. To add an item to your basket, simply log into your account or register with us. Then you can either check out or keep shopping. Remember, our flat rate delivery charge lets you shop all day and check out as many times as you like and only pay once for postage and packing. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
So today I'm going to be showing you how to sew a satin stitch. This is basically a line of straight stitches covering an area, let's say a petal, and they'll be parallel and adjacent to each other, giving you a nice satin finish. So I'm using embroidery thread, and I do have a knot in the end just for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'm going to be taking my needle from the back to the front of my work, and I'm just going to sew a simple square. So I've done my first line of stitching. And you can see that I'm coming in very close, but not through the same hole that I did before. So my next line of stitching will be parallel to the one I've just created. Just going to keep doing that. There we have our satin stitch.
Welcome back to the Sewing Quarter. Now this morning we're taking you on your travels here, there and everywhere. We've got fabulous materials so that you can make all the different travel pouches and bags and bits and bobs that you need to take travelling with you. We've got lots of ideas, lots of inspiration for you. We've got beautiful fabrics, like I say. Now this hour, out of the gorgeous Amy Butler range, we've made for you, I say we, I didn't make it, Lucy Brennan is here this hour, and she's made this for us. So this is your bling sling. I've popped a little bit of bling so you can see there. Perfect for your rings along there. Bling isn't included, by the way. You've got to put your own rings on there. You've got a little zip pouch. You've got another little place to put some bracelets. And you can either fold it or roll it. Entirely up to you. A very, very handy little thing to have. Now, this came out of our 100 Pretty Little Projects, which let me show you. Sometimes we just need that inspiration, don't we? Sometimes you just go, oh, I don't know what to make today. What should I make? What do I fancy making? Now, this has got 100 different projects in. It takes you from beginner all the way through. So there's something for everyone in here. It's a great book. Look at this. Visually lovely. Lots of inspiration for you. Lots of step-by-step instructions. Just, you know, you've got that fabric stash. What do you do with it? What are you going to make? So you've got all sorts of projects in here. So you've got mini quilts, pillows, pin cushions, pot holders. You've got your cushions, patchwork in there. You've got, oh, look at these, the cuddle drops, whatever they are. I don't know, but they look really snuggly and we want to make them. You've got all sorts. So for all different abilities, tastes, it's all in. There are 100 projects in here. You're going to find something. Maybe you're making for a birthday for someone who's a little bit tricky. You're going to find some inspiration in here. It is 100 Pretty Little Projects, and we've chosen from it the Bling Sling. There it is. Now, we're using beautiful Amy Butler fabrics. We've bundled it for you so that you can do the same. 1.5 meters of gorgeous Amy Butler fabrics. Now, Amy Butler, one of the top American designers, she's renowned for bringing a fresh look to your shabby chic, but also using gorgeous botanical type prints, giving that fresh new look at them. And here she's done it yet again. So the 3 different fabrics that we've got in there, the colours work so beautifully. So in here, which is your organic stripe in here, it's then picking out, this is one of producer Paul's favourites, but then you see with the floral, you've picked out that purple in there, but then you see the floral over here picks out so many of the other colours, so they work beautifully together. Let me show you how much you're getting in this bundle. Now, this is going to do so many different projects. Look at that. So we've got all of that, which is going to work so beautifully. Look at this. Woohoo! Gorgeous. And then this purple, I love this one. Look at these. Yes. All of this fabric, all of it coming to you for $18.95. That is a lot of designer fabric. A huge amount of designer fabric there for you. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, Lucy, do you need the book or have you got it? She's got it. Excellent. Let me show you the other option in just one moment. I'm going to bring this so that we know what we're making, and I will bring the other fabric options with me. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, why did you choose the Bling Sling?
I just thought it's a fun little project. It's a really handy thing to have, to be able to take travelling with you, or just to even keep things neat. If you've only got a small amount of jewellery, that would just be perfect to hold it. Or, if you're travelling and you want to have different earrings, different rings and things like that, it's a cute little solution. And it rolls up really small, which is nice. If you need it to.
If you're putting bracelets or bangles or something in there, you can just fold it.
Yes.
So we're going to also look at closing options.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We are.
Yes, yes. So however you wish to use it, however you wish to make it. The idea is out of our 100 Pretty Little Projects book. And we've used the Amy Butler trio. And now, your Pretty Little Projects book down there, $14.95, and this fabric bundle, $18.95. Let's get started without further ado.
Yeah, I also picked this one out because I think there are a few different techniques in making it.
Right.
And some things that people, not everybody loves zips. It can be a little bit scary.
That scare me today.
Yes, I'm picking things that scare people because they're not scary. And actually the construction of this makes it really easy. So then it's a nice project to try and do it this way, and then you can take that and use it in other projects.
Okay, so transferable skills.
Transferable skills, and you end up with a neat little project at the end. And that would be a lovely gift as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Teachers' gifts and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is really nice.
Add your own bling.
Yes.
It's really pretty, and like you say, great way to showcase lots of different techniques.
Yeah.
Where do we start? Oh, there's another one there.
So we're going to start, so that's...
there's more and more. I like
this. The way the pocket's constructed, and we do that pocket first. So you've got another space there for more jewellery. So you actually can get quite a lot in there, even though it's only small.
Beautiful fabrics. Your Amy Butler fabrics. Is this your kind of fabric?
Yes. This stripe in particular, I love.
That is such a favourite, producer Paul's favourite.
Yeah,
as well.
I really, really like it. I think the colours are great. I love the shape of it. And, depending on how you cut it, you can get different effects with it as well. So I really like it. It would be a lovely one for bias binding.
Ooh, yeah.
It would look lovely cut on the bias as well. So, yeah, that one's my favourite.
It's one, now that I look at it here, I can see it's almost like the outline of flowers.
Yes.
But actually, when I first looked at it, I thought it was quite, sort of a regal print. Lovely. The more you look at it, the more different things you see. But we're starting with this and this, or this.
We're starting with this piece. So you've got, in the book, it's got all the instructions. It says what you need. It has all the measurements for cutting out of your pieces in the book there.
Let me show you that. So this is your book. This is your project. All of the details that you need through there for you. And this is just one of the 100. You've got another 99 projects. Yes. This is just one of the 100. So $14.95. Well, that's pennies per project, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's got, you're using 3 fabrics, and it says 3 fat quarters, but it's you're using less, so you still would have some left over.
We've given you a half a metre. So
yeah, well, you've got a half a metre there anyway. But so I would just, you don't need, in some patterns, you would need the fat quarter because you've got to cut things out precisely out from a fat quarter. Whereas with this one, they're just small pieces, so you can just cut it from that half metre.
And you're good
you
to
don't
go.
need a fat quarter, if that makes sense.
I promised you 2 different colourways, so let me very quickly show you the other option for you. Here they are. It's all about love in this option. And so if you'd like the other option, it's got your hearts, you've got your arrows. There they are, $21.95 for your hearts and arrows trio bundle. PGGC 84 gets you those. Brand new today. I haven't seen any of those fabrics on the show at all. 1.5 meters of fabric. They're $21.95. PGGC 84. Brand new. Pop it in your basket.
I love that one's got a text print on it. I'm always drawn to things that have text on.
In this.
Yeah, I think that's really pretty.
Do you know I hadn't noticed.
I don't know that it's readable, but it's really nice little detail.
It looks like it's come from a dictionary definition, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, there's your text print. Nice. They're a bit like the sweets.
I love having that. Yes, I think it's reminiscent of that, isn't it? Although it's different because obviously it does look like a dictionary
or
a recipe
that they have
or something
on those sweets, because they always have different things that they say.
You know,
they've updated them.
I know. See,
with,
I'm a
text me
child of the 80s. Like yeah, we didn't have phones, so they had really sweet things on, and now it's all spelt incorrectly.
Don't get me started.
All abbreviations.
I don't understand. There we go. There's your hearts. And then you've also got the little arrows. You see, it's all about love. Love is an all year round thing. It's not just for Valentine's, is it? But this is fab too. There you go. Look at those. Yay. Brilliant. $21.95. This is... Yeah.
And you've got hearts on the selvages.
I know, it's so exciting. It's that little detail, isn't it? You know how you often get on the selvages, you often get the different colours of the fabric, of the print that's in there. It's done it in hearts along here. It's so cute. Small details make me happy. Yes. It's all from Studio E, by the way. I don't know that we've had any Studio E fabric before.
I don't think we have.
So, what do we do?
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is make the zip pocket part.
Okay.
So, this part here. And you've got the measurements in the instructions, and you just need to press each end over by 1/4 of an inch. So, I've just roughly finger pressed it, but we definitely need to do that on the iron. And then with the construction of this, you're laying the fabric on top of the zip, so you don't need to worry about your zip being the exact size of the piece of fabric.
Because that isn't.
We will cut the ends off afterwards, but I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that.
So the times that I haven't done a project because I didn't think I had the right size zip.
Yes.
Just go bigger, doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes, always. I tend to buy a lot of zips at once, and I get always get longer ones than I need, because you can just cut them down unless you need.
Not with your fabric scissors.
Unless
just make that
clear. Unless it has to be an open-ended zip for something in particular, then you need the exact size. But generally, with a closed-end zip, you can cut them off.
$1.95 for your 30-centimetre zip. AFGQ16. Pop it in your basket. Nice.
So I'm taking the folded edge.
Yes.
And laying that on top of the zip. So you want to just make sure that it's the zip is facing the right way up. So the zipper head part is, up. Don't do it on the wrong side. And you can see the teeth. That's the easiest way of doing it. And you want to get that up close to the teeth. Make sure you're not covering them. So if you want to leave a slight gap, you can.
Right.
I tend to go up to the teeth.
So, and you're just placing this easily in the middle of the zip.
Just in the middle.
Good to go. The fabric that we're using, beautiful Amy Butler trio bundle here. The colours work so well. This is the joy of getting it in a bundle. The colours are going to work. And these are the colours that we've got. So you've got that beautiful organic stripe in the middle. Then you've got that lovely light purple, which then is reflected in the sort of silhouetted flower. And then you've got that striking, gorgeous, really bold floral over on the left. 1895 KJGC 31.
Okay,
Nice.
So I've just pinned that in place. And I've just realised I've pinned it the wrong way, so I'm just going to turn that over.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. You've just taken away another of my zip-making fears. Because normally, when you sew in a zip,
Yes.
you have to do that thing of, and then...
No. So
I'm a convert to the long zip.
Yes.
I'm with you.
And it depends on the pattern and the construction, because there are certain times when you're not going to be able to move it out. You know, once it's sewn into something, you still have to do that, lifting it up, moving it.
But right now...
no, we don't. It's really simple, which is
Do you know,
lovely.
I'm easily pleased. This pleases me hugely.
I've put the zip foot on, and then on this machine, you move the needle over it has a stitch where you move it and moves it automatically. If you're at home and you don't have a zip foot, you can use your regular foot.
Right.
You can use your regular foot to install a zip. And often I do that. I rarely take out my zipper foot, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I very often will just use my regular foot. On this particular machine, the regular foot is wider, so I can't do that anymore. But if you have a standard machine with a normal sized foot, you just want to make sure that you move your needle over to the left.
Right.
Or to the right, it's always to the left.
Can I
move
make
it
a
over to the left so you're getting near to the teeth. Yeah.
Hand crank. If you are in any kind of doubt as to whether or not that needle is going to miss the foot and hit the fabric like you want it to do, if you have any fear that you might not have moved it over enough, just hand crank and check.
You can.
Don't do as I did and snap your needle.
No,
Just
you want to avoid snapping your needle. Yes. So you can see I'm doing just what you said there, and I can see where that line of stitch is going to be. So we're very, very close to the teeth.
Yes.
With this one, but
that's good.
That's good.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, it's where you want to be. If you're not as close, don't worry. You can have a little bit of a lip because it's folded over. We've got that seam tucked underneath. If you're using your regular foot, it's absolutely fine. So you're just stitching down that piece of fabric close to the zip.
If you have just joined us, this is what we're stitching. The bling sling. Woohoo! And we're doing at the moment this zip along here. Now this is one of 100 projects within here. 99 others to get stuck into. So you need never have one of those days where, do you know what, your sewing mojo just isn't there. You just don't know.
Yeah, and there are, some of them are a bit more time consuming. There are slightly bigger projects in there as well, which is nice. You've got a really good variety.
You've got everything, yeah. So depending on time.
But there are lots of little things that are nice, nice to make as gifts. And I very often do smaller little projects in between making quilts, because quilts can be a long process.
We've talked about this before, haven't we? That, when you are really concentrating on a quilt and it is taking up all your time, sometimes it's nice to just slip in a little project that is quick and easy and just satisfying.
You've got that finish.
Make. You've got that quick make. Like, yes.
Yeah. So we've sewn that along there now.
Yes.
I'm just going to trim that thread off, sorry, because it will just annoy me.
We don't want you annoyed, Lucy.
No, don't want me annoyed. Although I've had my porridge, so I'm fine now.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
I'm not going to get hungry.
Happy days. Hangry.
So we've sewn that on there. And then what we're going to do is loop it around, and we're going to sew the other side onto here. Now, the reason I'm doing it like that is because I want to make sure that these sides match up.
Right.
And then we're going to open the zip and I'm going to sew it. But if I open the zip and then try and
Oh,
put
it'll be
this on
wibbly-wobbly
here,
all over the place.
it could be all over the place. So it's
Yeah.
really important that you keep that closed while you line up the edges so that
liking
that's
this.
flush and neat.
That looks great already. So your Amy Butler fabric, of course, perfect for these ideas. What I would say, grab the book. You've got 100 different projects in there, and then you've got 1.5 meters with our Amy Butler bundled trio fabrics for $18.95. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We'll have a waft of those in a bit.
Yes. So I've pinned those in place.
Yes.
So I know that these edges here are lined up.
Yes.
And then, so that I can sew that down,
Yes.
I need to open
I
zip.
thought you were going to push it as far up to the top and then double stitch through.
Sorry, say that again.
I thought that you were going to be like pushing it up there
Yes.
and then stitching it through both, but no.
I mean, you
guess you
could do that.
But we're not.
But we're not.
So don't listen to me.
No, you could. You could. It would just mean then you
You
wouldn't.
don't then get
you wouldn't
that,
have
yeah.
that little bit of extra space, but you might not need it.
You see, I'm always trying to guess what happens next
Yes.
with these projects. It's like, if I were making this at home, what would be my next step? So I would have done that and then had a smaller pouch.
I see my sister's like that when if we're watching TV programmes or films together, and she drives me mad because she always guesses what's going to happen next, and she's
really?
always right. So
Oh, no!
she ruins it every single time.
A spoiler.
Yeah,
a
I won't watch
spoiler
films with
alert.
her anymore.
So that was my zip spoiler alert for anyone that was waiting for the zip surprise.
But she hasn't even seen it. She just guesses and is always right. It's infuriating.
She should write films.
She's
or something.
very clever. Yes,
Is she?
should. Yeah, she's very clever. There we go. So you do what you definitely do need to pin. Yeah, you can use glue sticks to hold that in place if you want to.
Once you've got those little glue sticks, they come in handy incredibly often. We've got them in the next hour, so if you're after a glue stick, stay with us. This is great.
So you can see then that that's forming as our little pocket. And it doesn't give you measurements as to how far over. So you might want to have that in the centre.
Oh, okay.
Or, so you can just play around with that and decide where you want your zip placement to be. You might want it right up near the top, like that. So that's one pocket.
Yes.
Down. And then
3 more to go.
Wait,
No, how many more to go? Two more to go.
One more pocket to go.
Okay.
So I would always suggest that you don't cut off the ends of your zip until it's sewn into place, or until you've at least got it in place where you're going to sew it to secure it, because inevitably you'll just pull that and it'll come off, and then it's game over. There are ways of reattaching the zip, but it's tricky and it's just easier to not cut it off.
Okay, so don't do that. Top tips. A Brennan top tip. That's what we love. Of course, we are using the beautiful Amy Butler fabric. Lots of you loving the Amy Butler fabric this morning. It's $18.95 for a 1/2 meter. I shall have a little waft of that in a moment. This is shaping up to be the next pocket. I've got the finished article here. We've made this pocket now. This is working as a dual pocket, so not only do we have that zip going on there, and that's one pocket, and then in there you can pop more of your bling, because this is the bling sling. And then you see through there, this is the next pocket that we're going to make, and then you can put all your rings on that central bit, and then close or roll.
Or roll.
You see, I've got bangles. I've got a lot of bangles, so my bangles would be just slipping in there, so I wouldn't roll it. I would fold it. But there's no
Whereas
reason.
I have bracelets, so then I can roll.
So you can just roll.
Yeah, and use the ties.
Nice.
So the second pocket is very simple. We're literally just folding it in half, but we need to secure it. So we fold it in half, right sides together, and then you just sew with a 1/4 inch along that seam there. And then
I'm giggling because I've just got producer Paul in my ear going, I love that fabric.
I know, I love it too, Paul.
Producer Paul is quite a dapper gent about town. And he always says about kind of having like a when he goes to the races or something like that. Because one of those kerchiefy folded pockety things. That would be a nice one for you, Producer Paul. Have one of those. Yeah, pocket square.
Pocket square, yeah.
And when you know when it's a fabric he loves, because he'll go, that would make a nice pocket square.
Have to do that for him.
Yes.
Make him some. So I'm just reattaching my 1/4 inch foot, and I'm just going to sew. So it's like that, and I'm just sewing along the long seam. So wrong sides together.
Yes.
Sorry, right sides. Sorry.
Right sides together.
Facing,
yes.
and then sew along. I think
all the information's in the book.
Yes. Don't
Just
listen
in case
to me.
there's any, any confusion anywhere. All of the information is in the book. It's one of 100 projects. How did you how on earth did you even decide? I'd spend at least 3 days looking through the book, deciding which ones to...
I know, it is. It's hard to make a decision about what to make. But I think it's things... I think it's always good to make things that people will use.
Are you a bling girl, then?
I'm a little bit of a bling girl.
Yes. Say no to bling.
I'm just doing it without explaining. So I've sewn the seam, and then I'm turning it through the side.
Yeah.
So that's the seam there, and just turning it through so the right sides are facing out.
Here we go.
And then we'll give that a press.
Down here. Yeah. So it's just sewn along those 2 raw edges, sewn together, turned right sides through. There you go. How do you want me to press this?
So when I'm pressing, because you're going to press it along the seam, so I always do the little finger roll.
I still haven't. I still can't do that.
Finger and hold it between your fingers and your thumb, and literally roll it like that, and you will feel. You can do that. You do that bit. You'll feel it. So they sort of open out, and you get that nice neat line versus that. So just have a little go. So fingers and thumb.
I'm all fingers and thumb. I can't do it. This is when I'll know that I've made it.
You're doing it.
Am I?
Yes, you're doing it. That's it.
Oh.
It's not hard.
Okay.
It's just that. It's just rolling it backwards and forwards with a bit of pressure, so that you haven't got a lumpy. You've just got it nice and flat. You've just done it.
Kate's messaged in. Good morning. She says, good morning, Natasha and Lucy.
Morning.
Loving the programme. She's just doing a bit of fabric shopping, as you do. Well, talking of fabrics, why not? Do it. We'll go and have a little waft in just one moment, but here's what I'm going to be wafting. Oh, no, it's gone. Hey, there it is. 1895. Amy Butler. Absolutely stunning. 1.5 meters of that. KJGC 31. Do you want me to waft it? Here we go. It's all out ready for wafting over here. I do love a waft of an Amy Butler. Look at these. This is it. This is all the fabric that you're getting. Look at this. So, just beautiful. I've not seen the flower fabric on the end. Oh, where to start? So, for me, this is kind of the one that's holding this whole bundle together. This organic stripe here, because it's got all of the other colour elements in it. It's like a rainbow going through there of stripe. And so, of course, this is picked out in the purple that's in here, and the greys are in there as well. Absolutely beautiful. But then over here, we've got all the other colours in there. So you've got that brilliant, vibrant orange in there, and those teals in both those tones in there, and that deeper sort of purpley grey through there, all in this fabric. So they all work cohesively together beautifully. This is how much you're getting. Amy Butler is top American designer, absolutely stunning. And this is, love it. Now, the one that we haven't seen, let me get you the one that we've not seen before. Woohoo! Look at this. A little bit retro, actually, I think. 1/2 meter of that in your bundle. Now, as you've seen from the project that we've chosen, you're barely using any. So you're going to be able to do so many more fabrics and projects in here. You've got 100 projects in the book. You can do matching ones, coordinating ones. It's entirely up to you. This is a gorgeous, vibrant fabric. That orange and that teal just working so beautifully together. And of course, it just moves absolutely beautifully. This is one to pop in that stash, isn't it? 1895, Amy Butler, designer fabrics, top designer fabrics. Brand new today, this one, but we've popped it in a bundle for you. 1895, KJGC 31. Gorgeous. Ooh, we've got another bundle for you as well, which is, it's got the look of love about it. There it is. Let me show you this look of love. Again, brand new fabrics. We even checked on our computer system. In fact, this is a company that we haven't brought to air before. This is Studio E. Here we go. So these are your hearts. Yeah. Now this is the one that you love because it's got that. It's got the sort of text in there. Now that's one. You see, hearts never go out of fashion.
No.
Always a classic. Here we go. Now, how about a little bit of jewellery from your bling sling in your hearts?
That would be a nice one for like an anniversary or something, wouldn't it? For a celebration with the heart balloons.
Absolutely. And of course, they are going to work beautifully together. They're from the same range. Beautiful. Studio E fabrics here, 100% cotton. It's from the Dear Heart range.
I'd get that one because you get more hearts on it.
You get all of them.
Oh yeah, get them all.
It's a bundle. It's coming all of them.
So you have all those
$21.95. All from Studio E. Brilliant.
There's a bit of something biscuit about this one as well.
Biscuit.
It reminds me of a certain type of biscuit.
Does it?
Yes.
What sort
With
of biscuit?
one that's got heart on it. Maybe
Dodgers.
some jam. Maybe some jam. Yeah.
Jammy.
That would be it.
Maybe Alice in Wonderland fans.
Lovely. Oh yeah,
Nice.
lovely.
I had to play the Queen of Hearts once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Chopped off everyone's heads.
Fun.
Yeah. I might have had a... But that is, you know, one of the overwhelming childhood memories because I had a top that didn't quite...
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, no.
Not,
We won't
not
talk
ideal.
about that.
No.
So
very
we've done the
upsetting.
2 pockets.
Yes.
So that one's got the zip, and this one has the fold and then the seam.
Oh, nice, okay.
So it's up to you which way. I don't think it really matters which way you lay that on. So you're just gonna. This is the lining piece of the fabric.
Right. Working beautifully, these colours together.
And then you just position them on there. So it shows you in the diagram where you want to position those, but there's no measurements. You can just, you know, move around as you like. And then you're going to pin these in place. And you are only sewing, it's quite important.
Quite important.
Because
right.
otherwise you're going to end up, and there won't be pockets. So you only need to sew one side of each of these. So I've just made sure...
Yes, good point.
Yes, I've just made sure that it's lined up with the edges there. So it's straight. So I'm just going to sew along the bottom edge of this pocket.
Right.
And the top edge of this pocket. And that's going to make the pockets, if you like.
Nice.
So, but it's just going to hold them in place. So I'm just going to stitch, just like a top stitch.
Okay.
Along there to secure those. So I've just got the normal foot on my machine.
Nice, just a straightforward, straight stitch,
Yes.
boom, done. Beautiful. Now, if you're in the market for some beautiful fabrics today, which a lot of you are, Amy Butler is just such a stunning designer to go for. She's been designing for years now. Have you ever been on her website and had a look? Because it shows you pictures of her house and the designs, where you really get an idea of where she gets her inspiration from. She works with her husband. They met at art school. It's all very romantic. Her husband and her cats share a studio space. Beautiful. Nice. I think she's got 5 cats or something like that. There's a lot of cat going on.
That is a lot of cats.
Yeah.
I have 1, that's enough. So now we're just going to baste down either side. So I'm going to use a slightly longer stitch.
Okay.
Because it's just to hold them in place. Just a slightly longer stitch and not too far in.
Why does it have to be a longer stitch? Why do you have to go to the effort of changing a stitch length?
Well, you don't have to, but it's a bit of waste of thread when it's not a functional stitch, if you like.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just
So if it was
literally to hold.
reinforcing,
Yeah,
then,
if it was
you know,
reinforcing or something like that, you'd want the smaller stitches. But it's just literally to hold it in place while we're constructing.
And I guess if it does move around, you've got fewer stitches to unpick.
And it's quicker.
Okay.
If you do a slightly longer stitch, it's just quicker than.
I've always wondered. I'm just like, why don't you just do a normal one?
Well, you can if you like. It's up to you.
I'm not doubting you. I'm just asking the questions the nation are asking, Lucy Brennan.
It is a good question.
Why? Yeah, I just never knew.
Yeah, I think it is just because it's quicker and it's just you're just holding it in place.
I guess as well, if you were to hand baste, it's that long
Then you would
stitch,
use
isn't it?
a
So it's kind of
longer
come
stitch,
from there as well, isn't it? But quick, easy, bish bash bosh, and it's done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and take your pins out.
Yay! Now, a lot of you are asking about, well, how do I get my hands on this project? Well, it's easy because you can get this one and 99 others because, yes, it is 100 pretty little projects, and they are. We were sat this morning, Lucy and I, over our cup of tea/coffee, and deciding what else we would make out of here. So there's all sorts. Now, you wanted to make the snuggle things, didn't you?
Yes, I love those.
All sorts of things in here, from quilts to cushions to just really handy cases. Projects where, yes, you can, if you've got scraps of your favourite fabrics, then you can use up bits of there. There's bits of applique. Oh, now we looked at this thinking maybe we should get our circle cutter out and make something like this. With all sorts of hints, tips, ideas. Whether you're decorating your house or doing something functional, they are all in here, all good to go. 100 of them. 100. That is 15 pence a project. I've rounded up. 15 pence per project. Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You just need some fabric, and we've got fabric for you. And in fact, just think how many projects you'd be able to do.
Yes. With
your fabric bundle today. So $14.95. That is just under 15 pence per project. Crazy money. FCMZ 12 for that. Now 100 projects is going to keep busy, isn't it?
It is.
And inspired.
So,
whatever level you're at.
Yes. I imagine there may have been a couple of people shouting at the television just now because don't do what I just did.
What
and
did
this
you
is
just
another
do?
reason why basting stitches are fantastic. What I've done is I didn't move the head of my zip. So I just sewed down both the sides there, and you'd have
No!
You wouldn't be able to open it. It would be completely unfunctional.
Well, it would be a design choice because you still have the pocket under there.
It would just be a disaster. So basting stitches, thankfully, are really easy to unpick. So I've just unpicked where the teeth are of the zip. And what you want to remember when sewing in a pocket like this is to move the zip to the middle. Now, when you're reading the instructions, she very carefully does remind you.
Yes.
So in the book, it does tell you.
You won't have me chatting in your ear when you're making this.
No. But so it's a really important thing to remember.
Producer Paul says read twice, sew once.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. So I'm just going to go.
He's cheeky. He's getting cheeky for a man that doesn't sew. He's getting very cheeky.
Well, I think he might start sewing.
He says no.
Yes, he will. We'll
Paul
get
says no.
So I've just gone over that little bit again. So now those are basted in place and our zip is in the right place.
It's now the time.
Now we can trim off the ends of those. So you want big scissors, strong scissors. Do not try and cut this up. This is a YKK zip.
Most famous zip in the world.
Most famous zip in the world. Most excellent zip in the world. Very well made. Strong. So these are plastic teeth, so you don't need to worry too much. But don't try.
Scissors.
Just don't try and cut. I mean, it's quick. Don't try and cut with tiny scissors. No, but you need strong scissors, otherwise you're not going to
kitchen scissors.
you're not going to be able to.
Kitchen.
Yeah, so just.
We've got these scissors in Fiskars Tailor's shears, $37.95. They are my scissor of choice at home. Not going to lie.
Mine too.
Absolutely love them. They are meaty and strong and do the job. An absolute treat. Absolutely fabulous. These ones, brilliant. Grab them, right tools for the job. Oh, hang on, what are they? Pinking. Oh, I didn't realise we had the pinking ones on.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't got those on.
Those are my exact ones
yours?
that I have at home. No, in fact, I have these pinking shears that my mother, I think she gave them to me. I might have taken them, but anyway, they're my mother's, and she's had them for a long time.
Hey.
She'd had them for a long time, so they really do stand, you know, this is the kind of thing you buy once, look after them and they'll last forever.
I think this is... Fiskars orange handles
Yes.
are iconic.
They are.
Aren't they? For me, this tells me quality. This tells me great cutting. Yes. Oh. And then you're not going to have any fraying when you've cut through with your pinking shears. Fiskars, $39.95. Invest in the best you can afford. These are, to my mind, the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are other elements that I have prepared earlier because of time.
Yes.
So in the book, she uses a piece of cord, a thick cord, and wraps the fabric around to create this part that holds the rings on. I didn't have any cord, so I've just stuffed it. So I made a tube. So I used exactly the same measurements that are in the book, made a tube, stuffed it with toy stuffing, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that is it. Done, ready to go.
And it's strong enough that you can put your rings on it and hold your rings. And then
I did. Look, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. And then it has a little snap fastener. So I've just used the sew-in ones and sewn those by hand. So you've got the pointy end of the snap fastener. I know there's a positive and negative. I can never remember which is which.
That's your positive.
So the positive on the end of the tube, and the negative one you sew to the lining.
Nice. Are you positive about it?
I'm positive. And well, that's what you told me, so I'm just trusting you. So when you put it, I'm sure you're right. So when you position it on, don't sew it right at the end, because obviously that you need seam allowance.
Right.
So just sew the snap in.
Okay.
Part, you know.
We've got snap fasteners for you. Yes, we have £1.45.
Oh, they are.
For 20.
Oh, that's great.
Treat
And they're different
yourself.
sizes as well. So, you know, for use, that's great for all different projects.
Yeah, 20 different projects for £1.45.
And you only need a small
That's
one.
7 pence a
for
project. Now, I heart this project. Here it is. Look at this. Fab. This is from, you get a metre and a half in a bundle. This is from a brand new supply to us. Conditioning keeps taking it and wafting it to one side. That's its waftability. Beautiful heart balloons. When does a heart just get even better? When it's in balloon form. Gorgeous. You've even got elements of grey, and there's kind of a linen effecty grey in there. You've got your polka dots to pick out. You've got all sorts. This is a great one to have in your stash. Absolutely lovely. Then if you want, because of course, stop it, air conditioning. It's just fluffing it around all over the place. Here we go. This is the smaller heart. I love that you've got the variations, haven't you? So you've got those little squares, quite reminiscent of that 80s confectionery that we put on everyone's table at our weddings. Everyone had a little packet of love
did
hearts.
you? That's
nice. Here we go. And then you've got, again, half a metre here with your bows and arrows, your hearts and arrows. Just add a cherub or Cupid. That's your heart fabric bundle here, $21.95 from Studio E, PGGC 84, brand new today. If you haven't seen it before, it's because it's not been on before, so you can't have seen it before. Grab it today, brand new. But of course, we're doing a bling sling.
We are. So I've attached my snap fastener to the end of the ring holder, and then I'm just going to, I've just flattened that down and sort of pushed, I don't want the, start again. In the instructions, she makes this longer than it needs to be, so you've got room, you know, you've got a bit of room to play with. So it isn't that I've done it wrong or that it's too long, it's because either you're wrapping it around the cording or you can do it as I've done it, and you will have some extra so that you can trim it off after, because it's too fiddly to get exact.
This reminds me when Jo Carter makes her rabbits and things.
Yes.
She stuffs the limbs, but then leaves a little bit so it's easy to sew over. You're effectively doing the same thing.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
But without the bunny ears.
So I'm just holding that in place, and then again, like we did with the zip, we can just trim that off.
Scissors out.
Yes. So that's that tidy up.
Excellent. Now, today, if you've just joined us, these stunning fabrics, Amy Butler. Love these colours.
I know, and now we get to use my favourite one again.
Yay!
Because we're making the, it's, I can't remember what she called, flat piping, she's called it, flat piping. So it's just these little decorative edges on the pocket.
Along here, and where can I show you? Here, along here, flat piping, top and bottom. Nice.
So she gives you the measurements in the instructions, obviously. You're just taking a strip and folding it wrong sides together, pressing it, and then you want the raw edge of that strip matching the raw edge of the lining.
Okay.
Like that, on both sides.
Nice.
And then we're going to sew along.
Okay, pin it or clip it or?
You can, pin or clip. I'll probably clip because it's easier. And you've got quite a bit of bulk here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, thinking.
So you can push it with your finger, and as you're sewing along, you might want to start and just push that down.
Yeah.
But it's easy to do. But that's why you don't want to fill that up right the way to the end, because you'll never get.
You won't get your sewing machine past it. You'll end up with a wonky bit. And we don't want a wonky bit. Well, I mean, that's why you did the zip as you did, so we didn't end up with a wonky bit.
Yes, exactly.
Don't start wonking now.
No.
Nice. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? And to have this fabric, of course, holds this whole bundle together because it's got all of those different colourways in it.
Just realised I've missed a step because I want to put a piece of wadding behind here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Now we've got wadding on the show for you as well. It's just, do you know, just have a pack. Just have a pack of wadding because you never know when you're going to need it. And you never know, it just adds that little bit of depth. And because you're going to be putting your bling in here, your jewellery, it gives you that little bit of extra protection.
And I love it for smaller makes. So I very often add wadding to little zip bags, tote bags, anything like that, because it just gives it a bit more structure but keeps a softness to it. So I'll do that.
Yeah, excellent. Do you want to see the wadding that we've used? We've got, this is the cotton baby size one. Now you see, with this, it is 18.95, but you're getting over 1 metre by over 1.5 meters. That's 45 inches by 60 inches. That's a lot of these projects. And I think, So either do your quilt and then use your leftovery bits for these sort of projects, or have one that is just dedicated to these smaller projects.
Yeah, because you're going to be cutting into it and sort of doing odd shapes and things. So.
And that cotton, lovely and breathable if you're quilting with it. So down those long sides.
So just down those long sides, and that's just going to hold all of that together.
Down we go.
I've just realised I didn't reduce my stitch length either, so I'm going to stop and just do that because that's.
Are you going to see this stitch or not?
No, you're not going to.
So you can just stitch over the top of it with a smaller stitch.
You're going to stitch over the top of it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
off we go again. Now, if you're after this gorgeous fabric that we're using, it is the Amy Butler fabric. You can see it beautifully over there, and it just is an exquisite combination of colour. The texture is beautiful, soft cotton, and it is absolutely stunning. Now, is this the leftover that you've got from this project?
Yes. Yeah.
So this project, all this project has taken out of your half a metre. You've still got that. You've still got.
Oh, that's
all
the.
of that.
I cut. No, what I did. Sorry, I cut it into fat quarters because I wanted to see how much I'd left over. So those are
so
that
full
would
fat
be
quarters.
like the fat quarters.
Is that
and then
another
that's
fat
what
quarter?
That's another fat quarter. And then I think those are what's left over.
So you've got 3 fat quarters still out of this project, and then these are the leftover. And this is the second one that you've made out of this fabric bundle.
Yes.
So you've still got that left over, little scraps here. So 2 of these pouches, and still you've got over half your fabric left. So by the time that you get going, this is beautiful. This is about bringing an exquisite collection of fabrics into your home in a way that is so easy to use, and also, you know, just whether you just want to snip it, whether you want a large project and then to use, go through the book so that you've got the inspiration, whether you've got lots of fabric, a little bit of fabric, then you're going to be able to make something like this with your small amounts of fabrics. Maybe you've made cushions or something out of it, and this is what you've got left over. Either way, stunning. Absolutely stunning. You could, I mean, actually, you could make a bag and a matching one of these, or a wash bag. Maybe you were lucky enough to get the eau de coat the other day. You can make a wash bag out of this, and then have all your little travel accessories all out of the same bundle. Absolutely gorgeous. And for only $18.95. Once you think of how many different bags and projects you're getting out of 1.5 meters of fabric, that is great value for money. $18.95. KJGC 31 from a top designer.
And if you had, you know, there are lots of projects in the book that this would look beautiful in this fabric.
Any project's going
really
to be beautiful
gorgeous
in this fabric.
Yeah.
Love it. You had this beautifully folded. Oops. Soz.
That's all right.
Okay, where now?
So the next thing is attaching the ties. I am just going to even this up because my wadding's slightly, I'd obviously cut that slightly bigger. So we're going to baste the ties in place. So for the tie, it gives you the instructions of how to make the ties, but it's basically a strip folded in half, opened out, fold the edges towards the centre.
Oh, like we just
in
did with the
half
bag
again.
handles with Victoria, but on a smaller scale.
On a smaller scale.
It's like you're making your binding.
Yes. I made mine slightly bigger than the measurement in the book because it's fiddly.
Okay.
So I think I cut mine 1/4 inch wider, just because I knew I don't do very well with tiny little things. So I made it a little bit bigger.
That's a very honest admission.
Well, and I think because for people at home, they might, you know, start doing it and go, oh, I can't, you know.
It's about...
It's too fiddly. And if it's too fiddly for you, just make it a little bit bigger.
No one's going to know.
No,
unless
you
someone's
wouldn't
got
look at that and
book.
think it was wrong.
No. Unless someone's got that book at home and is going to go through and go, oh, and measure everything. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want to be their friend anyway.
So now, doing fastenings like this, when you've got ties, it's tempting to do that. But if you do that, we're going to fold it right sides out, and then that is going to be on the inside.
You need to
so it needs to be that way.
Like when you put your bag handles on.
Yeah, so you position these on top of each other.
Right.
You can fold this in half to find your central point.
Nice.
That's what I like to do. And then put those on top of each other and just stitch over. Now I'm going to go backwards and forwards a good few times because I like to know that those ties aren't going anywhere.
Now, you see, this is the thing, isn't it? If ties feel too fiddly for you, pop a bigger snap popper thing on, snap fastener on.
You could, yeah. At the end, once you've turned it all round, you could put a bigger snap fastener.
Because that's the thing, you know, for me, like, I wear bangles, and so if I put a bangle in there, it's not going to roll anyway. So you like to wear thin bracelets, I wear bangles. It's making what's right for you. If you're gifting it, it's entirely up for you. Now, of course, we've used the beautiful Amy Butler fabric. I do love this fabric. I love how the three colours work together, how the three different fabrics just work beautifully. We've done that hard work for you. We've got the fabrics that work, the colours that go, that just marry up beautifully together. And there we go. Okay, so
I'm going to just get these out of the way. Handily.
Oh, look, if only we had a little pouch to just tuck that in.
The pocket there. And then we take the outside part of the fabric.
Can we do this in 3 minutes?
Yeah. Put it right sides down. You want to pin it in place. You can just do the corners, you can do all the edges, whatever you feel.
This is about how confident you feel to do this now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would just pin the corners like that. And what you want to do is leave a space, so where this pocket is, not the zip pocket, the other pocket, and leave a space along the bottom for turning.
Ah, okay.
So I like to put 2 pins in.
You see, isn't it funny? Because Victoria likes to turn her pins upside down. And
does she? That's how she
so that's
knows.
her signal.
Yeah.
Yours is
Mine
a double
is
pin.
2.
I did say, I'm sure we've got designs that double pin it.
Yeah, if I started turning it around now, I wouldn't even notice.
No, well, as you say, it's
you
whatever,
you get into a habit, and so whatever that is, that becomes your thing. And so I'm going to start there and go all the way around.
Whee! Now, whilst you do that, let me show you. A lot of you asking about the heart fabric, not surprised. It's really rather lovely. It's reminiscent of those 80s sweets, I think, but hearts do not go out of fashion. They're still there. So you've got a script behind that, that smaller hearts, then you've got those arrows and hearts, and then you've got the heart balloons. It's just perfect, isn't it? For anybody that you care, you love about, pop it in your basket. 1/2 metre of each of those, $21.95 from a brand new supplier, Studio E. This is a beautiful 100% cotton. It's a lovely tight weave. It feels very, very soft, and it's going to be beautiful to work with. Now, the book that this project has come out of, a lot of you asking about that as well. You're getting 100 different projects. You are not going to want for inspiration, that's for sure, by the time that you get this. So whether you're sending your kids back to school with some sort of crafty carrier, whether you've got a yoga mat on the go, you've got a project that's going to be perfect for everyone in there. Absolutely fab. And of course, you can then match it whichever fabrics you wish that are going to be the inspiration for you. And then you've got all your templates and everything at the back. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not losing your place, Lucian.
No, I'm fine. Well, I'm nearly done now.
Nearly done. Oh,
take your pins out.
Yes.
Pinking shears.
Ah.
Cut your corners.
Right. Now, the pinking shears are going to stop it from fraying, aren't they?
Yes. And then what I like to do is trim my seams.
Okay.
Because especially, I think in the book it says 1/2 inch seam allowance. That's a really big seam. It would make it would be quite bulky.
Okay.
So I always trim. Now where I've got the zip, let me find it in there somewhere. In there.
Yeah.
What I would do is get in there and cut that bit out.
Right.
Cut those little teeth.
Yeah.
Because then when you turn it round, you know, you don't have that big bulky bit from the teeth. So get rid of those zip teeth. You just want to get in there as close as you can and get those teeth out. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to turn it through.
Now, of course, one P&P throughout the whole day. So if you see things throughout the morning that you absolutely love, you will only pay one lot of P&P. I love that about us here at the Sewing Quarter. Now, we are practically out of time. Lucy, thank you so much.
All right, there we go.
So whatever the project, we've got it covered, and gorgeous fabrics to go with it. Thank you so much. You've been great fun. Thank you very much. See you in just one moment.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
So we're going to show you how to do a back stitch. Now a back stitch is a great one to use when you haven't got a sewing machine available, but you need to repair or fix a garment. And the back stitch is a really strong stitch to do that with. So I'm going to be using embroidery thread here so you can see what I'm doing, and I have put a knot in the end. First of all, you need to start with the wrong side of the fabric first. So I'm just going to place my needle through to bring it through to the front. And then you're going to go backwards. So I'm going to do quite big stitches here so you can see what I'm doing. So that's the first stitch. Now this time you're going to come and bring your needle through, but the same distance as your stitch. And then you're going to go into the first hole that you came out. And then go back through to the back. And then I'm going to come all the way over again, the same distance. And then through again, and just keep repeating that process. So this is my final stitch now. So as you can see, there's my row of back stitches, and if I just turn that over for a second, you can see that it's almost as if it's double stitched along the back. So you can see it's a really secure stitch to do when you haven't got a sewing machine to hand.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to bring our viewers the best and most exciting opportunities to learn and expand your knowledge. To help do this, we will be bringing in some of the leading industry experts in sewing and quilting to help guide our viewers along the way. Such as Jennifer Taylor, Samantha Claridge, Lucy Brennan, Jo Carter, Angela Atwood, Karen Lewis, Rebecca Reed, and finally Jenny Fox Proverbs, who is the senior editor of Today's Quilter and Love Patchwork and Quilting magazines.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing, as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!
Welcome back. Now this is our last live hour this morning, and we've got oodles more fabric for you, some of which you've seen, some you haven't before. I'm going to start straight away and tell you that this is what we're making this hour. So if you are down with the kids and they've all got those over-the-ear headphones, then this is the pouch that fits it all. So if you're traveling, if you just want them, you know, if they're off to school and they need to put them in the bag during school, then they can have a fabulous little pouch to put that in. Now this is what it's all about. We've got it in two different colorways today. We're going to be making it in this later. This is your, there you go, those sorts of headphones. Do you know the ones I mean? And then it just keeps them, yeah, over the head type ones. And they fit very snugly and perfectly in there. And of course you could fit other things in there. It's a pouch at the end of the day to put in whatever you wish, be it a tablet, earphones, whatever. It's there and it's perfect and it's a lovely make. But of course, in order to make anything like that, you're going to need some gorgeous fabrics. And look what we've got for you. Shall I start with that Vespa? Oh, the Vespa. Scooter. Not Vespa. Scooter. Do you know, my overriding memory of my grandmother, the one that taught me to sew, was that being a small child and just waiting for her to rock up on her moped and her scooter. Yeah, she was yeah. And so this always reminds me of her. Very cool. Very, very cool. And here they are. And of course, having grown up near Brighton, you get all of them come through Brighton. Beautifully adorned. £5.45 QOMY05. Yeah, look at them. Producer Paul, I could see you on one of these.
I could as well.
Yeah, he would really suit it. Really suit one of these. It's in a beautiful sort of peach background there. This is by Macawa, 100% cotton. Look at that. So we're looking at £5.45 per half of cotton. So it's an apricot scooter. Yeah, isn't it just? And I love the fact that it's kind of non-directional print there. So, you know, you can use it any way up, doesn't matter. That makes it really easy to go. Now, maybe you're all about the scooter. What about a scooter girl? Now, we haven't seen that scooter before, have we? I haven't. But I think that we have had the scooter girl on before. Is this brand new? I thought, no, this, yeah. Sorry, they're having a conversation upstairs as to which one's new, which one isn't. Scooter girls. John has shown us scooter girls before. This is your scooter girls. Look at these lovely ladies. Hey, these ladies, they're all looking very sophisticated, aren't they, today? Look at these. This is fab. I know that John's had this before, but I think it was part of a bundle. Now we've got it singularly for you today, so you can buy as much of it as you wish. You see, this, yeah, back in the day, this is the one, isn't it? Look at it. Yeah, £5.45 GAMY 86. A bit of classic style. Yes, love it. Retro, brilliant. The apricot scooter, brand new today. This we've seen, but never on its own before. I do believe it's all been bundled before now. Let's have a look at what else we've got for you. What would you like to see next? Oh, the people. This is on the actual pouch that we've been looking at. Now, again, this is what... here we go. This is from Dashwood, actually. This is a Dashwood studio one. So we've got some great studios for you today. This is Street Life. 96, I feel the need to sing. Wasn't it? Yeah. £5.95 for your Street Life people. And that is per half a metre. So you've got lots of colours that you can pick out in there. Now, let's go and have a look at Victoria. They're coming with me. Well, no, they are coming with me because they are rather fabulous, and I like it a lot. Victoria Peat is back.
I'm back.
Hello. How are you doing?
Not bad at all, thank you.
Good to have you back in the studio. Now, this is what we're making this hour.
A pouch.
A pouch.
A pouch.
Travelling in style.
Yes. Why not personalise what you carry around with you?
Well, absolutely.
If you've got the skills, flaunt them.
Yeah, and a great gift. You know, those teenagers, they can be quite tricky.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah.
I've got nieces and nephews and you just never know what to buy them. Really
well, that's
hard.
the thing, you know, and actually I don't always want to just give them money.
No.
Because, you know, whatever.
It's boring.
So actually I'd rather make them something.
And something that they'll use as well. It's not just, here, I've made you a strange thing.
No.
It's something useful.
Yeah, absolutely. Trendy, very much on trend, and a really lovely gift to have. Or maybe it's for yourself. You know, it's absolutely fine to gift yourself.
Always gifting myself.
Yes. Yes. How do we make this?
So, this pouch is made from a square and a rectangle. So the front of the pouch is made from a square.
Oh, okay.
Here, which is 9 by 9. And the back of the pouch is a rectangle, which is 9 inches by 14 inches.
Okay.
So I've cut those squares out and I've rounded the edges. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute.
So is this a simple make?
Sort of. I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner because applying the binding round the corners is a little bit more advanced.
Okay.
Not for a first-time sewer.
Right.
Someone with a bit more skills. So we'll look at making the binding and we'll look at applying the binding as well.
Oh, right.
Don't worry, it'll be okay.
No, this is good.
It'll be okay.
But basic, simple shapes.
Yes.
So that bit easy, done.
Yes. Something that's going to be a little bit tricky to get across on television is the different ways that you can interface your product. So for this one, the sample I'm making today, I have interfaced the main body of the fabric and I'm using a wadding.
Why? Why both?
Well, just to give a slightly more firm finished product. This one here is just wadding, and you can see it's quite soft and malleable, but I thought it would be useful just to see how it looks with that extra bit of interfacing.
Do you know, actually, I'm glad you've done this because I was thinking about buying some of those headphones for and then I saw the price of some of them.
They can be really costly.
Wowzers!
Yeah.
Wow! You want them nicely protected.
You don't want to just throw them in your bag.
No, well, you don't, do you? You know, if you're making an investment in something like that, then do keep them safe and protected. And so actually having that...
One extra layer.
Extra layer, it's just another way to keep them super protected. So that, absolutely brilliant.
So that's what I've done with the interfacing.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've cut out of the main fabric, out of the scooter. The nice thing about this fabric is it's multi-directional.
Yeah, as I was saying at the start, brilliant for me.
No
because then I don't
up,
have to
no
worry.
down, no sideways.
Yes.
It goes every which way, which is great. Makes it really easy for cutting out your fabrics.
Yes.
So from the main fabric, I've cut, well, from a 9 by 9 inch square, I've cut from the main fabric, the interfacing, the wadding, and the lining.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to go and show that
Grab
lining.
the lining.
I'm going to go and grab it. This is a beautiful nude colour.
Nude and neutral.
Nude, neutral. I think everyone, it's almost like a blush.
Yes, a light peachy blush.
I haven't seen this before, and I'm really surprised we haven't had this in a Tilda bundle before now, because I was saying, if you're making any of your Tilda fabrics, any of your Tilda toys or anything like that, this is a beautiful fabric to have. But we've never had this on air. I don't know how it's escaped us.
Oh, it's nice, because if you chose white, because the print of the scooters is in white, but if you chose white, it would be too stark, I think.
But it's not quite
much
white,
warmer.
Is it? It's a warmer white. So
But this is, like you say, it's a blush.
Yes.
It's got that nice warmth to it.
So this is going to work with anything with an apricot-y, peachy tone.
Yeah, fleshy tones.
It is a flesh tone. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just $3.25. We have not seen this on air before. Where has it been all our lives?
Hiding in my cupboard.
Oh,
no, it hasn't. It
your
hasn't.
fault.
It's not my fault, promise.
BGMY20. It's out.
Off of
The
my
secret
wardrobe.
is out. So grab it now that you've seen it. Whether it is to use as a lining, whether it is to use in your toy making, if you're making flesh-coloured toys, and it's nude and it's fabulous, and it's going to work with all your florals and things like that.
Great to
It's
mix in with the
great
florals.
neutral to mix through. Fabulous. $3.25. BGMY20. Who knew that it's that exciting to have a peachy nude?
A peach.
Fab.
There you go.
Yeah. Actually, you can see on the Scooter Girl, it matches the flesh tone of the Scooter Girl.
Oh, it is her skin tone, isn't it?
It works. I tell you, it works.
All
Grab
those
it.
travels, and she's still pasty white like me.
No, look, she's put on her factor 50.
Factor 50, look after your skin.
Yeah.
Right, so what you need to do is make a sandwich from each of these. This one
Scooter sandwich.
This one oh no, what you need to do first, sorry, I lie, I take it all back. So you need to apply your Velcro, because this closes with a Velcro. And what I thought would be good is to not have the stitching for this Velcro to show on the outside.
Oh, now
So
this
what
takes forward planning and
Yes, it
forward
does
thinking.
take forward planning. And did I forward plan the other day? No. Did I have to unpick? Yes. Completely forgot the Velcro. I got partway through and went, oh, I've not done the Velcro.
It's time for a popper.
Yes. Didn't have any
A
poppers.
snap fastener.
So when you look at the finished product, you've got Velcro on the larger piece, the 9-inch by 14-inch piece. You've got the Velcro at the top here. And then on the square, you've got the Velcro on the main fabric.
Aha.
So I've put the fluffy side on the front and the hook side, the rougher side, on the lining.
Now, let me just show you the type of Velcro that we've got for you. Now, this is stick-on. I love this.
Oh, it's so handy.
I'm not going to lie, because it's super easy. You stick it on to where you need it to be, and then and then you sew it in position. So you don't have to pin it, you don't have to try and pin it, you don't have to do any of that tricky stuff, which is very tricky with hook and loop.
It's really tough to get your pin through.
Yeah. So all you have to do is then sew it in place, whether you hand sew it, whether you machine sew it, it doesn't matter. But here it is. This is your Velcro here. You can wash it at 30 degrees, and it is absolutely fab. No sewing or gluing required, it says. Simply peel, stick and done. All of my things, I've got a 3-year-old. I sew it down as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Particularly if you're using it an awful lot, I think it's nicer to stitch it down.
Yeah, no, it does give you the option though, and it does say that it is sort of a permanent bond after 24 hours, but I still stitch.
Still stitch.
I don't believe it.
Amy said that we were allowed to open this.
Did she?
Yes, she did. So I'm going
she?
to open it to get some to put on the main part of here.
Hey, floor manager Amy, she doesn't care. Just open it, rip it open, doesn't matter.
You say
Would you like
rip
me
it
to
open?
open it?
Yes, please. Come on. Get your muscles out.
Oh my word, it's not as easy as you think, is it?
I'm going, it won't open.
No, I've done it. I'm in.
You've done it, you're in. Good.
Oh, nice.
So I've already attached the hook side on the lining of the main piece. So I'm going to attach some of the soft one. Thank you.
Are you now?
I am, and I will. Come on, we can do it.
Well, you see, I would cut these, but I don't want to use our dressmaking shears on them.
On the plastic.
Yeah, so I've just got to ease it out gently. Just talk amongst yourself.
That's fine.
We'll be there.
That's fine.
There you go.
So on this, I just need, I think I used 1.5 inches piece.
Mm-hmm. You see, I just Velcro it on and then cut it from there.
But I wouldn't want to accidentally... Oh, I see what you mean, stick it on. But I wouldn't want to accidentally... If I hadn't stuck it on there, I would have put the two together, made a little sandwich, and cut through both.
Yeah,
yes.
Easy, easy, easy.
Okie dokes. So this...
Hey, there you go. Oh, so we're using the apricot scooter. It is £5.45. It is really rather fabulous. And this is what we're making. Hurrah! Now, the Street Life people is in the background, and that is down the bottom, £5.95. That's from Dashwood Studios. So Macawa is your scooter, Dashwood is your Street Life. I know that different studios have very firm followers.
Yes,
that's why I tell you where it's from.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to attach this. It's quite sticky. It will stay in place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attach this in the middle of my 9-inch piece.
Okay.
Which is approximately 3 3/4.
And down it
Finger
goes.
stuck. And I'm just going to make sure that it's about 3 inches from the top of the raw edge and stick that down.
There it
is.
So,
like the packet says, that will be fully adhered within 24 hours, but I can't come back tomorrow, so I'm just going to sew it in place today.
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, things for me that have Velcro on, things like dog coats and stuff like that, I will always reinforce it with a stitch, just because, especially my spaniel, and he's the one, he gets a haircut, he gets a... Well, you've met Arthur. Arthur's been in the studio.
Oh, studio dog.
He did a full 4 hours in the studio
Good
once we made various beds and coats and stuff. And he wears a coat because I often have to cut his hair myself. It's embarrassing. It is a mum cut.
That's very brave.
Yeah.
We used to have a spaniel, and when it goes wrong, they look like little sheep.
So he has lots of coats. For such times as when my haircuts go wrong for him, and which is absolutely fine. But the Velcro on there, I will always sew and reinforce. Now, actually, he would look very dapper in one of these fabrics. Could you imagine him in the old scooter? Now, we've teamed the scooter today with the nude, which is brand new. You've not seen the nude before. I don't know how. It's part of our Spectrum Solid range there, which is just brilliant to have. And I think, if you've got any kind of florals that have got any peachy tones, and this is one to have in your stash. It's also, if you toy make, if you're making any kind of dolls or anything like that, again, one to have in your stash. Just one to have in your stash. Because it works so beautifully. We've got, of course, our scooter ladies, and their flesh colour is the same as that nude tone. So it's just going to be one that's going to be really, really handy to have, that you can just bring out whenever it's needed. QOMY05. Oh, no. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, down the bottom there. You're nude. BGMY20. The scooter. is this one, is your 545. Love, love, love this scooter. What are you doing, Victoria?
I am making a sandwich.
Ooh,
You
nice.
hungry?
Yes.
Have you breakfast? A long time ago.
My mum might be watching, so yes.
Yes.
Obviously had my breakfast.
Look after yourself, set yourself up for the day.
Yeah.
Making a sandwich out of the lining, the wadding, and the main fabric.
Okay.
And I'm going to baste round the outside edges.
Okay.
That will help keep everything together.
Right.
If you have a walking foot for your machine, now's
the
a good time to pop it on. To
I
stop
got my
everything.
walking foot out
Oh,
the other
did
day.
you?
First time ever.
Oh, really? I hardly take mine off.
Really?
Yeah, I leave it on all the time. It comes off when I'm using my edge stitch foot, 1/4 inch foot, or a zipper foot.
Okay.
Other than that,
It's on.
it pretty much stays on.
Yeah, you see.
Find it
now,
really useful.
It was brilliant. I did have to dig out my instructions as well to work out how to put it on.
Actually, getting them on is the
Yeah.
most tricky thing. The first time I got one, I went back to the shop and said,
to
"Oh,
get
it's
them
not
out."
working." They said, "Oh, it is. There's
You
just a
didn't attach
knack.
the top bit. Yeah.
There is an absolute knack."
I got it, and I was very pleased, and I was very proud of myself.
Very useful.
Yes.
So,
But if you don't, you can still do this
yes, you
project.
can, because
Don't worry.
I'm doing the project without. You might just want to pin a little bit further. Depends on your pressure on your machine,
Okay.
on your foot. If you can adjust it, you might want to just lessen the pressure a little bit,
Okay.
or use more pins, whatever's going to work for your project.
Okay, perfect.
I've increased the length of the stitch.
Yes.
And I've put the needle, in the previous show I talked about how you can change the position of the needle. So I've gone onto the width, because when you're on a straight stitch on this machine, if you go to the width and alter it, it will take
gonna
you
take you to
to
the side.
the side, which is useful because you want to sew near the edge.
Oh. Ladies and gents, I have a warning. Woo, woo. Scooter Girls stock warning.
It sounds so scary, doesn't it? Stock warning.
Stock warning, stock warning. Please check out your baskets to secure it if you have it. If it's in the basket now and you check out, then you've got it, okay? But we have got so many of you adding this to your basket. This is the lowest one that we have in stock, and so many of you got it in your baskets. Please do check out now. £5.45 for your Scooter Girl fabrics. I love it.
Isn't technology clever, how you can tell that lots of people have got it in a basket?
Oh,
Technology's great.
It is. It's very clever.
Love it.
I could possibly tell you some names as well, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just in case the other halves are watching and they weren't aware. Their wives are in the other room.
What? I just heard your name on television. Stop shopping.
Must be another one, surely.
Yes, not me.
Yes.
It's a different barrel.
A different Victoria Peat.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's only one. Actually, there is a famous Victoria Peat, but it's a P-E-E-T.
Oh, well,
American
no one
actress.
asked for the spelling.
That's
so
not
it was
me.
fine. We didn't give the spelling. Actually, I've got a very lovely friend called Lucy Brennan. Which,
Do you know?
Which really confuses me when
really
we have
odd.
Lucy Brennan on the show.
Oh, you have
But
two
both
lovely
wonderful.
Lucys in your life.
Yeah, both brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It obviously is a very, very fun name because they're both great fun.
Oh. Okay, I'm just going around these edges.
Yep. Well, is that also going to make it easier when we come to put the binding on?
Yes, it will do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely make it easier because the binding is tricky. So if you can do anything to help you along your way, then why not?
I'm just, starting to get the hang of this binding malarkey.
Yeah, binding's nice. It's like, I always liken it to outlining something with a marker pen.
Yeah.
Just
oh, yeah.
highlighting the edges.
There it is. Happy days.
Okay. So I followed that process for making the main body of the bag as well, the
Right.
9-inch by 14-inch side as well. But that Velcro piece went on the on the lining piece, and that was about 1 inch down from the top.
There it is, an inch down there.
And you can see on this one how I've already cut these curved corners, because attaching binding to a curve looks quite nice. It's a new skill to learn, and saves fiddling trying to get mitered corners.
Ah.
And the curve looks nice, I
I
think.
had thought of that before I had to teach myself how to mitre.
Oh.
It's a new skill. It's all good.
Yes, it is. It takes a bit of fiddling, but once you've
hang on a
cracked
minute,
it,
though, you've just sewn that, and that's not curved.
no, it's not. But I've put them together so that when I come to trim the curves, it's
gonna
not
be
going to
okay.
all shift around
Oh,
because
okay.
that wadding isn't attached. It's not iron-on.
Could I quilt this? add an extra effect if I wanted.
Here's one I made earlier.
Oh, you've quilted
Yes,
one.
I did.
You have quilted one.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
I
So
did
what-
not know this.
Did you not?
No,
Ta-da!
I didn't. Oh, look, what a team.
What I did is I cut, instead of cutting the 9-inch by 9-inch piece, I cut 10-inch by 10-inch. Because it depends on how much you quilt. If you quilt a lot, it will pull the piece of fabric inwards and make it a little bit smaller.
I love that.
So we can then just trim that down to 9-inch by 9-inch, and that will give you, again, a different feel. By using just the wadding, that effect will end up being different to this effect, which is just wadding.
This is great. So lots of different ways to play with your material.
And you can
play
quilt
with your
however
fabric.
you like. I've just done lines at 45 degrees, angles across each other. You could do vertical lines, horizontal lines, crazy, stippling, however you like.
Awesome. Awesome. You could do it like the fumes coming out the back of your...
Oh, yes. Well, that's where stippling would be nice, because stippling is round and round and round, round and round and round. Random. I'll teach you stippling.
Yeah, no, do. That's another show. Right, what's next?
Right, the corners.
Okay.
With
I thought you were going to bring in a plate. That's
that's what I was going to say, is you can just use a plate or a bowl or a mug or something.
Well, we have square plates
Today-
in our house, so that's no good.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Not so useful for a round
Didn't think
corner.
that one through, did we?
Didn't think through to your crafting.
No.
What I've done is you can choose how big your curve you'd like your curve to be. So I think for this sample, I think I did 2.5 inches for the start and end point of the curve. So I've taken a piece of paper or a piece of card to create a template and draw a square. So
Right.
I've lined up the edges of the paper on the 2.5-inch line on each side. Gives you a little square in the corner.
Right.
Oh no, we'll keep the ruler. And I have taken my compass.
Is that yours or is it one of your children's?
No, it's actually mine.
Is it actually
I
yours?
use it for pattern drafting.
Oh, okay.
Very handy. And then I've put that out to the corner.
If you don't have one, I bet your kids will.
Yes, or like we said, use a mug or something, anything that creates a nice even curve.
Hey,
and then
perfect.
just cut that out.
Yes.
And then you can use that, and I've done that already. I've cut
But
out
not
already.
with your fabric scissors.
Not with your fabric scissors.
Yes.
So I've cut that curve out, so we're ready. Then you take your template and place it against your pattern piece. So just line up those straight edges with the bottom of your piece and the side of your
Oh,
piece.
so you're only sneaking around and taking off a little
It's
bit.
only a little shave around the corner.
But it
Now,
does give a nice finish.
yeah, it just changes it, gives it a nice softer shape. You can either get your rotary cutter and cut round,
Right.
which is what I've done before, or you get your fabric marking pen and draw
Okay,
round that curve.
I've only just today learned how to use my rotary cutter properly. I'm going to scissor that, not going to lie.
Yep, so
I
that's
don't
what
know
I
that
thought we'd do today.
I don't know that I would be comfortable going around that with a rotary yet.
Not yet.
However, after possibly another lesson with one,
And that's
Do
quite
that.
good using the card, because card's thicker than the paper and gives you more of an edge to lean against. Like when you lean against your quilting ruler, you lean a little bit.
okay,
Or you use a pen.
pen and scissors,
Pen and
old-fashioned
scissors.
way, works for me.
So on your square
Are you
portion,
doing this on all four corners?
on the square portion you just do the bottom,
Okay.
but on the larger piece you do the top and the bottom.
Okay.
Because when you open out, you've got here your bottom edge and your top edge.
Ah, but on the square,
On the
you've
square,
got that straight across.
we've got
I
straight.
see. Awesome. I do love this fabric. If you would love to grab your scooter, then you can. £5.45. A load of you multi-buying this. How much fabric did we use on this project?
I had a half metre of the main fabric and the lining fabric, and I made one, but you could make 1.5 if you like.
Okay.
So if you chose, like I've done on this one, I've done a different lining to the binding.
Yes.
Because binding takes up a fair amount because you're cutting at 45 degrees. So you could introduce another fabric and you could get 2 out.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
Okay. So now you've got your curved edges, and I've done the same on there.
So you could do same but different. If you've got, like you've got 2 girls.
Yes.
They could have the same, but they could have different linings or different bindings, and that's how they would know which one was theirs.
This is whose.
Stops those arguments.
Hopefully.
Well, about that
Maybe.
anyway. Yeah. I'll find something else, but...
Always,
Yeah.
always. Okay, so those are your pattern pieces prepared.
Okay,
Like I
we'll
say,
flip to that. I
that's
can put that
yes,
aside.
that can go. So those two are prepared and ready for binding.
You know what I didn't ask?
What did you
Very
not
remiss
ask?
of me. I do apologise. What sort of wadding did you use in there?
I used our. Do we have some here?
Is
This
it
one here. This
the
one.
premium polyester craft. What? Look.
Yes.
Did you use this
here.
one?
No,
Fine.
it wasn't that one.
Yeah. Someone's been in there. haven't
Someone's
they?
a little mouse.
Let's look at that from there. Someone's been in and helped themselves in there. This is your, it was probably me, premium polyester craft wadding there. There you go. And again, $2.95. This is not an expensive project. And that's from metre by a metre. Just pop it. I was just saying, you know, have one of these that you just have.
Yeah.
Just for these sorts of projects.
Handy.
And then you've got it.
And it's got a nice loft to it, nice fluffy cloud-like. Next thing we need to do is apply binding. I would say the home stretch, but binding takes a while. We're going to attach some binding along here.
Right.
We'll then base those two sections together and then bind around the outside.
Okay.
So I thought I would just show you briefly how to make the binding and to use the clover binding tool.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you on the patterned fabric because you have to do right sides together and it's easier to demonstrate on something that has a right side and a wrong side.
I
Does
see
that make
what
sense?
you mean.
But I have used the nude for the piping.
So this is to join your pieces of binding together.
Yes.
So we're assuming that you've cut them at a 45-degree angle.
Yes, so with
Across your
the
fabric.
Clover Maker, it tells you, and there's good instructions, which I have here. They come in with good instructions in those.
Do you know I've never seen the instructions?
Have you not?
No.
Oh, don't bother opening it up. It's just in different languages.
Oh, okay, there we go.
You know, nothing comes with one language anymore. European.
Yeah, so this is the 25mm binder that we've got here, $11.95. We've got all of these instructions for you. They come in with the kit, with the binder maker. You're going to show us how to then join your binding together.
Yes. So I've cut this. This makes a 1 inch wide binding.
Finished binding.
Finished binding. So you cut, generally as a rule of thumb, double the width of your finished. So I've cut 2 inch wide strips. It does tell you, and it's worth noting, that if you're using a thicker fabric or a wool or something, you would cut slightly wider because it takes more fabric to go round the bend. This
is a 25mm one, so you would cut double that. You'd cut 50mm, and that's how it works.
And that's what I've cut here. When you cut your 45-degree strips, you normally end up with diagonal points like this.
Yes.
And the instructions do show you how to put those strips together, but I find that a lot of people find it tricky to understand which way the angles go. Therefore, I'm going to cut the edges off. I don't seem to have a rotary cutter, but we must have one somewhere. I have my own rotary cutter, but we don't sell that one. So I'll just use scissors, that's fine. I'll use the marking tool and I'll just snip those off.
Okay.
It's only a little bit. But it's one less area to get you confused if you can take those edges off.
Okay. So don't be scared of that.
No, don't be scared of that.
Okay.
And then you place them right sides together. And I will leave a 1/4 inch overlap on each edge.
Okay.
And we're going to sew from corner to corner.
Your rotary cutter has arrived.
Oh, and it's a lovely one
pretty
as well.
one, isn't it? Yeah.
Really nice. We'll use it again in a minute then.
$13.95.
So it doesn't feel like it's being left out. So I'm now going to sew from this little corner piece in here at this junction up to this junction. We're going to sew from one end to the other.
Okay.
And then we will press that flat and then just need to put that back onto a normal straight stitch. If you are not confident about sewing in a straight line, you can draw that line on with your marker pen.
That's just it. You know, whatever is going to make you feel confident, that's the thing, isn't it? Whatever gives you confidence.
Yeah, there's no pressure to do it without, especially if it's washable or air erasable, then it will go. And
okay, so you're just going on that 45-degree angle. It's all about the 45-degree angles, isn't it, with your bias binding?
Yes, because it spreads the excess fabric.
Yes. Okay.
So we've sewn along there.
Yes.
We will then trim that to a 1/4 inch. So I've taken my quilting ruler and I've lined that up against the stitching, a 1/4 inch line along the stitching, and then hold down and push away. Now, we'll then press that with the seams open, but you can see it leaves these little dog ears.
Yes.
So I like to just trim those off at the same time. They're no big deal, but I think it just makes it easier when you're coming to do applying your binding to not have those extra bits sticking out. So I will take the binding tool with me and I'll swap places because I'll show you how to use the binding tool at the same time.
Whilst you iron, I'm just going to show you the Street Life fabric because a lot of you are saying, hang on, you said that we had two. Here it is. This is your Street Life fabric. Let me show you what this is looking like. Very urban. And I think that's the joy of it. You know, if you're making a kind of urban project, we've had this before. Look, here we go. This is it. This is it here. Excuse me. So this is it making. Now this could be a wash bag. This doesn't have to be, you know, a headphone bag. But I love the fact you've got that urban feel there with your sort of urban headphones. Lots of people, busy town, that sort of thing. £5.95 for your Street Life People fabric per half a metre. Now half a metre is all you need for this project, and you are good to go. Which we absolutely. Now, have you ironed?
Yes, I'm now
She's
just going to use
ironed.
the clover maker. Just
Nice.
making some
Let's
space.
go have a look at that then.
I quite like to start off with is...
You ironed those open, sorry.
Yes, I've ironed those open, and
Yep.
as you can see from the right side, you've not got those little ears.
Nice,
So they're not
okay.
in the way. I find it easier if you leave your entry part at an angle.
Yes.
So I've left that here because that will slide into your maker all the way in, and you'll get part way, and there's a little groove on the top of your maker here.
This is brilliant, yeah.
So I stick the pin in and encourage it through. And you can see it starts to creep out the other side.
See, Clover know what they're doing, don't they?
They do.
They know that sometimes you need that little helping hand.
Just to get it through. And it is easier if you've cut into a point. You can do it if it's straight, but it just feeds through more nicely if it's not. And you can just see it pulls through and folds it as it goes. And then as it comes out,
Just give it a little iron.
give it an iron as it comes.
Nice.
Okay. Just don't burn your fingers.
No,
Very easy to do if you go crazy with your iron too fast. And you don't really want to get the iron too touching the maker because it's metal
Yeah, no, don't do that.
and you don't want to heat up. Okay.
But look at that perfect bias binding.
Lovely binding. And I quite like to, once I've pressed that, is just press it again from the other side.
Oh, really?
Belt and braces, just give it a good press. And if you've got fabric that doesn't behave, a squirt of
Like a
starch.
best press or something.
Yeah, something like that would be really
We've
good.
still got the best press spray on the website. We'll have a look.
I'm sure I saw
Great.
it online the other day.
We've got all sorts of different flavours of it as well.
Ooh,
Yeah, the
how
lavender's
nice.
lovely.
Oh. They were talking on the news this morning about how rosemary oil is very good for concentration.
Really?
Yeah, they were saying students who are studying for their GCSEs and whatnot, because I think they're coming up first,
Yeah.
is that a squirt of rosemary oil.
So cook your roast dinner
That's exactly what I thought of as dinner.
whilst studying. Job done. Yeah. And that is your binding. Beautifully
That is your
made.
binding. And depending on what you're using it for, you may want to press it in half again. So you may want to just take those folded edges.
Because that's how it's going to be. So it gives you that half an inch round the edge of your project.
Yes.
That's what it's going to, half an inch either side. And that's your bias binder maker, $11.95. We've got two sizes,
Yes, the
haven't
other
we?
one's underneath there
Because
somewhere.
the other one, this is for your iddly diddly binding. So if you're doing delicate dressmaking or anything like
around
that.
armholes.
Yeah, absolutely. This is your 12 mil. So you'd cut an inch and then that would be a quarter of an inch finished around. So super tiny. But this one, $10.95. And there it is. These are great because then you've got binding in any colour, any material. You never run out. Absolutely perfect. And so you never have to stop a project partway through because you've run out of binding. That happens. It's all done.
All done
Good
and
job.
ready for you. Right, the top of the bag. This is all the bias binding I made out of the nude in preparation. So I'm going to apply that to the top of the bag. And what we can do is actually, I am going to press that in half to make that quicker.
Do it.
Because we're going to pop it over the top.
You always need more bias binding than you think,
Yes.
don't you? Producer Paul, she said, oh, she's made a lot. Actually, you know, better to have more
Yes.
than suddenly go, oh,
Run out.
I've got like 2 inches
Yes.
left
You
to
need
go.
9 inches to go across the top of this, but shockingly, you need about 50 inches to go around that, which sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
50 inches sounds like an awful lot. But yeah.
Now, how are we going to attach this?
I am going to attach this piece differently to how I'm going to attach onto the main part of the bag, because this piece is straight.
Okay.
So now that I've folded it in half,
Yeah. The old Wanderer clips.
Wonder
come out.
clips are out.
This is where having the measurements on the back of the Wonder clips has really helped
It's helpful.
me, because then I can measure on the back and know that it's gonna if I'm within, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or whatever, that I'm gonna be, because I tend to stop. I'm a bit lazy with my bias. I don't hand stitch.
No, and I've not hand stitched on the samples that I've made because, well, sometimes life's too short.
Yeah.
I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, it depends on your project, really, whether you want to do it or not. A lot of people that make quilts, well, I don't know. I'm on a Facebook group for quilting, and I think it's divided as to whether people machine or hand stitch.
Hey, whatever takes your fancy. Now, we are making out of our apricot scooter fabric by Makawa this. Now, this could be a tablet cover, but what we've done in it is put in our over-the-head earphones. So, you know, whatever, these are not cheap. Make sure that you keep them nice and safe. You know, and if your kids, if you can give them something in a funky fabric, then you know, you're travelling, you know, you want to pop them in your bag, but you don't want them to be damaged. Pop them in a little pouch, and then you've got them in an airport, rather than having leads everywhere. So just take that out and put that pouch in the little tray as it goes through. It's all about travel today. On your travels is our theme today. Where are you going on your travels? I haven't got a holiday booked so far this year because my brother's getting married over a long weekend.
Oh, is
so
he?
That's kind of like a semi little holiday.
Oh,
us.
abroad?
No,
Just
in this country, but in a really pretty part of the world. So we're like,
lovely.
you know, that works. So we do, and then
Make
we're
a
just
big
thinking
weekend
about,
of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to do that. Oh, hey, the nude is incredibly popular.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. Good neutral.
It's a great neutral to have in there. If you've got anything with those peachy apricot-y tones within your stash, it's going to... I believe that we've never brought this to air before. Let me just show you. Now, what we've done a lot in the past, especially with Tilda fabrics, is to bundle colours that we think are going to work for all the different Tilda toys. How has this never been in there? This is going to work on so many of the projects, whether you're using it like we are today as a lining or whether you're using it as a flesh colour. Because look, if I just show you with the Scooter Girls, hey Scooter Girls, not much of the Scooter Girls left by the way, but you can just see that nude works very beautifully with their flesh. Nude Scooter Girls. That's a whole other show.
It sounds
isn't it?
rude, doesn't it?
It does sound a bit wrong. It's not this hour. Let me tell you. That would be 9:00 p.m.
Later.
The midnight hour. 5:45 for your Scooter Girls. GAMY 86. They are chic and lovely, but this is your nude fabric. Not that one. That's not nude. This is your nude fabric. Let's make that. Yeah. Gosh, go get myself in all sorts of trouble here, couldn't I? And here it is. This is a brilliant one. Put it in your stash. We've never seen it before. It is $3.25 per half a metre. Where has it been all our lives? We don't know, but it's here. BGMY 20 for your nude. $3.25. Excellent. I love how it gives that tonal contrast to our scooter.
Yes.
Scooter.
I like tonal blending. It's nice. It's not too harsh on the eye.
So you just stitched over the top, straight across.
Yes, straight across that line.
No messing around, boom,
No.
straight across.
No, but we'll apply the binding to the actual case in a slightly different way, more traditional way.
Ooh.
I've pinned these together and I'm going to baste.
Oh, are you?
Because when you come to apply the binding, it's much easier if nothing's going to move around.
Okay, I'm with you.
Oh, now I'm changing the stitch. I need to be changing the length.
Hurrah!
Stitch length
Now,
5.
thank you ever so much for everyone getting in touch today. Where are you going on holiday? We've had Disneyland, we've had we're at Lanzarote, we've had Portugal. Where else have we had? We're going all over the place.
Yes, the Baltic. Who was going around the Baltics on a cruise?
Oh, we had someone going to the Baltic on a cruise. We also had someone who was having a staycation, staying at home, booking a week off just to stay home.
Locking herself in a sewing room.
Yeah, just sometimes you just need that time, just at home. I so agree with that. You know, grab your bias binding makers. This is the thing. If you are going to the trouble to find a beautiful fabric to line with or to make your projects with, sometimes it's really hard to find a bias binding that's going to go with it. With a bias binder maker, you've always got one that matches.
And particularly like me, if you live rurally, your options are more limited.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Even though you might have a really great local store, they may not have exactly what you need.
Yeah, and then you've got to go. You've got to. You've then got to compromise. I don't want to compromise.
No, it's about giving yourself as many choices as you can.
Yes.
Learn some skills.
It's not scary. I've done it, so I can say
It's
hand on heart,
okay.
it's not scary. It's easy to do. But having said that, I hadn't done it before I started here, and it's only because it's there and it's available for me to have a go.
And
that
you
I
can
know that
see it
actually
being done.
is. Yeah.
Because you see things for sale and you think, what on earth is that? How on earth do I use it?
Yeah.
I'll never be able to do it. But
I was the haberdashery loiterer because it's you know, and I would stand there going, I don't really know what it is. If I loiter around here long enough, maybe someone will come and help and
pity
tell me
and
what
show
it
you.
is. Yeah, it never happened. Never happened. So that's the joy of the sewing quarters, that we get to show you how to use all these different things. You can grab them. It's 1 P&P per day. And if you need any tips or anything, just ask. You know, we're here. Watch the shows back. Ask us. They're all go onto YouTube. So if you want to make anything that we've made today, take a look back. We do you know what? If it's on air, then just message the studio. Producer Paul's there. He's happy to help. He's happy to ask us. We're happy to help. It's all good.
ask away.
Yeah.
Nothing too tricky.
He says he'll try his best.
Okay.
And he's always happy.
I've never seen a grumpy face.
No. Not our producer, Paul.
Okay.
He says you're taking the mic.
No, I'm not. No, even at silly o'clock in the morning. Happy face.
That beard hides a smile.
Beard hides a smile. Okay. Right.
Where do we start with this bit of binding?
Bias binding. This one I've not folded in half.
Okay.
There's some pins, there's some clips. I'll move the ruler out the way.
Oh, Jean's going on a sewing holiday in Donegal.
Oh, I've seen one
Nice.
advertised and I'm so tempted.
Oh, sewing. They call them retreats. don't
Yes.
they? Sewing retreat.
Just trying to convince the rest of the family that it's okay that I disappear for a whole weekend.
Nice.
Bye.
Oh, very nice.
Right, on this bias binding, it's all folded like we did the first time. I didn't fold it in half. I've just left it flat because it's easier when going over. This is a bit more bulky
Okay.
because you've got all the layers. You've got
Yeah.
6 layers. Or
Gosh, yes,
so.
you've got a lot going on, haven't you?
So I'm opening it. I've opened it out, and I'm matching the raw edge of the product. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Of the case with the raw edge of the binding.
Now, this is, as you say, a more traditional way of binding. It takes a little bit longer.
It does take longer.
Are you going to...
I am going to, and even when people say that they hand bind quilts, more often than not, they will machine stitch the first row, and then you hide it and you slip stitch the other side.
Right.
So quite often it will be both, but you'll call it hand binding.
Okay.
And then when you come to the corner, just gradually work your way round. And what we'll do is we will sew in the ditch that the iron made, this first part that I've opened out here.
Okay.
That will be our stitching line.
So whilst you do that,
Yes.
I'm going to go and show you even more fabric. Woohoo! Come with me, because we have even more. It's all about having options. We don't know your colourways. We don't know what tickles your fancy. We don't know who you're making for. So we're just going to give you loads of options, and then it's entirely up to you. So we've talked about the street life. Oh, ladybugs. Oh, hey, Producer Paul, do you remember when we were looking at collective nouns the other day? We discovered that the collective noun for ladybirds, was a loveliness.
Aww.
A loveliness
I didn't
of
know that.
ladybirds. So, ladies and gents, I give you a loveliness of ladybirds. Now, actually, it's called ladybugs. But look at this. It's a polka dot, but not as we know it. They almost look like little strawberries. But then you get close and you go, no, they're not. They're little ladybugs. They're little hearty little ladybugs. They are very sweet. Interspersed with hearts. If you bought the Heart Trio from the earlier show, this is by the same company. This is Studio E, and it is a beautiful, lightweight cotton here. So if you wanted to dressmake with this, you absolutely can. It's £7.95. There they are, that loveliness of ladybugs. Coming your way, NZEQ65. Hey, now, Amy Butler was so popular earlier. Let me show you. The Tropicana. This just says festival, and ooh, look at this. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is that's a tropical treat. That is, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. This is your Tropicana fabric. This is from Amy Butler, and it is it's so warm, isn't it? How can a fabric be that warm? But it just is very evocative of carnival, things like that. Woohoo! We like it a lot. Just £6.95 per half a metre of that. Lovely. Yeah. I want to show you the people again because a lot of you go for the old people. They're not
people.
old.
No,
actually, no. There is one with a walking stick in there, I think. Is there? Oh no, there's all sorts going on in there. Do you know what, actually, this is one of those fabrics. Sorry, I should probably share this with you at home. The more I look at it, the more you see in there. Now, we've made one of these cases out of here. Yeah, no, look, look here, hand in hand. Look. Hang on, where are we looking? Oh, no, look, yeah, there, in the middle, there. Hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
Look, see, I knew I'd seen some. I knew isn't that lovely? Hand in hand, though. Very sweet. But then you see you've got your dapper gent here, all suited, ready to go. You've got all sorts. That's why it's street life, isn't it? Lovely. And lots of colours that you can pick from that as well. But what we're making is this, which is, of course, your headphone, over-the-head headphone pouch. Victoria Peat is here helping us out. Very lovely. Now, you're using the scooters and the nude.
Yes, I am. Using the scooters on the outside and the nude as the lining and for the piping.
Yeah. We've not shown you the nude before. That's brand new today. Actually, the scooters are brand new today as well.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's new. New nudes.
New nudes.
Yes. Your apricot scooter fabric by Macawa. Half a metre for £5.45 whole new English pounds. But please do check out your baskets. It's only 1p&p, no matter how...
I just want to turn in that small amount on the hem. So I'm just going to press that with an arm. Way it's going to be when you're finished.
Yeah, because there's always one that you've not been concentrating on. Now, let's have a quick look again at this nude, because this is proving incredibly popular. I don't know how this has slipped through the net, how we've never shown this before.
Yeah, I made something, some Tilda flowers the other day, and it would have gone really nicely with those.
I think if you've got any Tilda in your stash, then it is one to have. Loads of multi-buyers on this. It could be that we've only just started stocking it, I don't know. BGMY20, 325, pop it in your stash. It's got to go in there. It's a must. Another must is this fun fabric. I love these. Fabrics that aren't too serious. Multi-directional scooters. It's called apricot scooters, rather than multi-directional. That's not a great name. And it is by Macawa. It's 100% cotton. It's great fun, and it's £5.45, so super affordable as well. QOMY05. Multi-buyers on this as well. A lot of you loving this and having a good old think about what you're going to be making with it. Maybe you're patchworking, and you could fussy cut the scooter ladies
And you could
And
fussy
have them
cut
on there.
those. But you could fussy cut those as well for hexies. They're a great size for that.
It's got to be
And
done.
they're quite close together as well, because quite often with fussy cutting there's a bit of wastage, but those are quite close
They're all right, aren't they?
together, so I think they'd be good for that.
We are fast running out of time.
Yes, and I've not quite made it round. But like
That's
I say,
okay.
you sew your binding on and then wrap it round to the other side, and I've machine stitched from the front, but you could slip stitch from the back.
Okay.
It's
And
totally up to
how
you.
has that covered your original stitch then?
The basting stitch.
Yeah, the one that you're doing now.
Because it's hidden. So if you have a look here, that's on the inside of your binding here. That's your line of stitching, which is a bit hard
Right.
to see. And then that goes round the outside and goes round. And you'd give that a press on both sides
Yeah.
as you manipulate it round.
Yeah.
And you either top stitch from this side or, like I say, you turn it over and
Yeah.
hand stitch it.
That's where you use your wonder clips, isn't it?
Yes.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So your apricot scooter, £5.45, QOMY05. Yeah, it's got to be done. I love this. Love the fabric, love the project. We've got 30 seconds left.
30 seconds.
Gosh.
Time absolutely flies,
It
doesn't
does, doesn't it?
Absolutely
Scoots away.
flies. Oh, did you mean to say that? Scoots away. A little bit.
No. Coming up tomorrow, let's take a look. We've got kids dressmaking. Are kids actually dressmaking, or are we just making for kids? We've got Jewellery Jamboree. We've got So Organised, and we've got a fantasy bedroom. Woo! That's what we've got coming up tomorrow. This is what we've had today. Thank you ever so much. Please do check out your baskets. We are out of time. Victoria, thank you so much.
Thank you
Have a
very
lovely
much.
time with your dad tomorrow.
Thank
and
you.
we will see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter.